Alright, let's see if I remember how to yap. I remember how to stream. Oh goodness, I don't even have any music going. Hold on. Hold on. I don't even have any music going. I forgot how to stream. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I don't know why. I feel like websites have been slow to load this morning. It's like once something is loaded, like if I went to put in like, oh, Twitter or oh, YouTube, it would take like 9 billion years to load. And once it's loaded, it's fine, but it would take a long time. What should I put on today? Antisocial egg? What do you mean? I was literally touching grass for like an entire week. What would be good for today? What would be good for today? Let's just go with good old Animal Crossing. How'd the wedding go? Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm pulling up the music. Give me a second. Hold on. Let's loop that. And here we go. Eggy. There we go. Eggy. 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 Truly. Eggy. Server conversating with a piece of galore by him. Let me get. I was getting to it. I was getting to it. You gotta give me a moment. I'm slow. I didn't stream for like a week. I'm trying to remember how to do that. Yes, good morning to Penboo and Jake and Fake Crade and Boothberry and Deffins and Uphill and Proctor and Panis and Bagel Post and Zully and Random Moose Brains. And I think that was everybody on Twitch, and also Tsundarathalos on YouTube. Good news for people watching on YouTube, I finally figured out how to get both chat windows into OBS, so I should be a little more responsive to the YouTube people now. Hello, Detective Hyde. Hi, Eggy. Welcome back. Hello. I was gone for a week. I probably should have made an announcement. Looking back, I'm like, I know I mentioned it on stream, but I'm like, I should have made an announcement on, like, Twitter or something. Because I just realized I, like, technically just, like, disappeared for a week and just, like, didn't do anything. Didn't do anything at all. Hold on. There we go. Yes, Deliver, she hates you. Okay, to be fair, I'm still trying to figure out how to balance them, how to do the layout, because, so, Twitch chat has the issue, well, okay, not the issue, but, like, so, Twitch chat and YouTube chat, Twitch chat new messages show up on the bottom, and they move up, whereas I think YouTube, it works the other way around, so I'm trying to figure out, like, how to organize these in my OBS window so I can see both of them. But, yeah. Congratulations on your marriage. I wasn't the one getting married. I went out of town because my friend from high school was getting married to another friend from high school. And it was fun. It was the first time, I think I talked about it on stream leading up to it, because it was the first time I'd been to a wedding, like, as an adult. The last time I went to a wedding, I was, like, 8 years old, and I did not have to think about most of these things. Like, you know, things like wedding presents, or, outfits, like what to wear, or, you know, things like that. Test? Okay, I think both are working now. Extend the chat box on the screen, let the message start on the same line as the nickname. No. You're getting it wrong. This is in my own window. This is in my own window, not in, Also, the line break is off. No. This is not for what you guys are seeing. This is in my own window. This is in my own window. But yeah. See, now I lost my train of thought. Nah, just stream the OBS window to us. No, because then you guys are gonna see everything in OBS. You're gonna see everything, and then you're gonna be like, Eggy, why are you so messy? Why is your OBS so messy? But yes, wedding things. Yes, Is there anything to hide in OBS? The answer is probably not, but I can't be certain. I can't be certain. Did you catch the bouquet? Are you next to Mary? No, I did not catch the bouquet. I did not catch the bouquet. You're good for now. You're good for now. So yeah, so it was the first time I'd been to a wedding since I was like 8. So it was very different. It was also the first time I'd been to like a wedding dinner, because like when I went to a wedding, the last time I went to a wedding, I was 8, but also I only went to the ceremony. Like me and my sister, we weren't invited to, my parents were invited to the dinner, but we weren't invited. So we just like went home after. So why did you not listen? I specifically told you to catch it. I tried. There was an attempt. I think it was the bride's sister who caught it, which is fine. Which is fine. Like, I remember telling somebody like she probably needs it, but then I realized that sounded mean. But yeah, feeding people at a wedding is expensive. Yeah, and it was for like a family friend when I was like 8 years old, so it was like somebody who like, you know, they were close enough with my parents to invite them, but like they did not know me and my sister well enough to have us there the whole time. Whoa, hello Panis. Thank you, Panis. Thank you for planting Bobeba, and also hello Bobeba.
I am Panis.
Most evil thing I've heard Eggy say. No, I mean it in a nice way, as in like I hope good things happen to her. Because she's the older sibling. Like I hope good things happen to her, is what I was saying. I was poorly phrased. The last wedding I went to was beef or chicken choice. I chose beef, but got both. Does my friend think of there actually wasn't a choice. So the food, I think, like the place that they were having, like the venue, it was like an Italian themed one. So what were the courses? There was a lot of like little appetizers. There was like some little breads at the beginning. Then there was a salad with a lot of olive oil on it. And then there was a main course that was like chicken and some like roasted vegetables and potatoes. And then there was dessert, which was tiramisu. It was tiramisu. So yeah, it was pretty yummy. I also had, okay, so they had not an open bar, but like a bar where you have to pay for stuff. And I remember I got jump scared. Because I went to order my drink. I was like, hey, I'd like a gin and tonic, please. And then the groom came by and he was like, oh yeah, if you want, I can pay for your drink. And I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, thanks. And then I didn't realize it, but the reason why the groom was also at the bar was because he was ordering a bottle of wine for each table. So basically he added my order to his total. So I looked at the total as the like bartender like handed him the card machine, and the total was like $275, and I got jump scared for a moment. I'm like, did I just order like the world's most expensive like gin and tonic, or did the lady make like a mistake when she was like inputting the numbers? And then she handed him like 7 bottles of wine, and it was like, ah, okay. But yeah, it was fun. I was also seated at a table. Like she put most of the high school friends together at the same table, so I was together with people I already knew. But yeah. I had one friend who, because you know how they have those little like champagne flutes that they fill up before the toast? I had one friend who like took a sip before the toast, and he was like, I'm not really big on champagne. And then for some reason, like a waiter then came around and like put more champagne into his glass. Hello, Mrs. NiceEggy. No, I'm still Miss NiceEggy. The wedding wasn't mine. It was my friend's. But yeah, here we go. Hold on. I'm trying to, like, again, rebalance the chats. Can I not have two things next to each other? No, I don't want that either. I don't like that. Hold on. There we go. Okay, now these are both properly visible. And maybe if I move this... Ah, there we go. That's perfect. There we go. I like that. But yeah, so, how short are you? A little under 5'2". Next question, please. But yeah, so then, also for the dance, so the bride is like, weeb. Her taste in music is weeb. And I know she told me, like, she had made a playlist specifically for the wedding that she gave to the DJ and was like, yes, please play as many of these as possible. And basically she had it arranged. She's like, the first half of the dance was like typical like wedding dance fare, you know, like this is like, you know, old white people music, you know, the typical ones. And then partway through, she like approached the DJ and was like, okay, the older people have gone home. Please put on the rest of the list. And then the playlist after that was like entirely just like video game and anime and J-pop. Like there was Creepy Nuts was played. I think there was something from Shin Megami Tensei that was played. Music from Persona was played. Music from Katamari was played. A few other anime openings that I did not recognize. I think Zutomayo was in there. She said apparently there was also she had Friday Night from Yakuza in there, but it didn't end up getting played. But yeah, I don't know. Dancing was fun though, but one of the things I realized was like, I don't have the energy. Like the bride is somebody who had a lot of energy for dancing for like 2 hours straight. I don't have that energy level, I don't think. I realize I'm like, I think if I ever get married, I'd want to have karaoke at my wedding rather than dancing. I mean, my family, I guess, has enough music people in it. I guess I would just have to hope whoever I'm marrying is also, their family also has music and people in it. But like, I don't know. I just feel like karaoke is like, I like singing more than I like dancing. And I also feel, because the other thing with dancing is that, like, it's like a never ending. Like, the way the DJ has it going is that, like, songs never end. They just, like, blend right into each other, right? So I feel like it gets to be a lot after a while, whereas I feel like with karaoke, the song has to end, and there kind of has to be this moment of, like, rest for a second as you, like, switch up the music and hand the mic over to the next person. So I don't know. I feel like I would rather have karaoke. If I get married, I would rather have karaoke at my wedding. We're not doing a first dance. We've got to do, like, a first duet or something. Like, we need to bring back wedding bands. Oh, like people who play music at the wedding. I thought you said wedding bands. I was thinking like the Rings. I'm like, no, I think we still have those. There's two types of fun karaoke people. People who are good and people who sing good and people who are fun and have fun sing. I'm the latter. Well, that's the thing, is you can get a mix of both. If you have enough people at your wedding, you're gonna have a mix of both. And like, I guess you're not obligated to sing. If you want to just like stand in the corner and clap and cheer, like, you can do that. I just think I'm like, yeah, if it's my wedding, then like, I would not want to put myself through the, like, through the process of dancing. I think I'm just not a dancing person. It was fun, but I'm not a dancing person. I don't have the level of energy and spontaneity to do unchoreographed dancing. Yeah. Gotta find someone who can sing. I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, too, is that, like, being able to sing and being down for karaoke are, like, two very different things, right? But, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things I've always found it odd, because, like, people who, like, I feel like a lot of people are like, if you ask them to sing, they're like, oh, I don't want to sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm not going to sing. And then if you ask them to dance, they will dance regardless of if they're good at dancing or not. Like, I don't know why. People seem to be, like, way more comfortable with being bad at dancing than they are with being bad at singing. It's very odd to me, I think. Yeah, I'm sure the bride had the adrenaline being high of being married with all the friends and family around. Yeah, that too. But I don't know. She just had a lot of energy in general, I think. It was also interesting, because her dress, actually, she changed partway through the dance, but one thing that was neat with her dress was, I don't know if this was built into the dress or if it was something that she, like, added on her own. And maybe this is like I'm describing something that's very normal and everyone's gonna be like, Eggy, every wedding dress has this. But basically her dress had a bit of a train, right? Which was fine for the ceremony, but for the dinner and the dance afterwards, she had this thing where basically there was this little loop on the dress that she could attach. Basically, it was like a loop that you could attach a wrist strap into. So basically allowed her to basically hold up her own dress. Like, she could just put the wrist strap on and the entire train would be lifted off the ground so she could walk around a bit more easily. And I'm like, oh, that's convenient. That's convenient. But maybe every wedding dress has that. Maybe that's just like a basic feature. Yeah. They're not really more comfortable with dancing. I don't know. People were pretty comfortable with dancing there. Yeah, all the attention is on one person for karaoke. That's true. That's true. But like, if you go on as a group, then that's not it. Or if like everyone's just, if it's like a song everyone knows and everyone's just like loudly singing along. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna pour myself some water. I don't think every wedding dress has that option. I mean, to be fair, not every wedding dress needs that option, but yeah. Your demographic is comfortable with that. Oh, are you calling my demographic old? Are you calling us old? Future demographics, allegedly? Are you calling my demographic old? Are you saying I'm old? Are you saying we're old? Time marches on. Check off passage of time. Check off passage of time. You see the new Animal Crossing update? I saw that it existed. I haven't seen what it entails, because I just like woke up and like rubbed my eyes and checked Twitter and they're like, new Animal Crossing update. But yes, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. I don't actually know what it has, but I'm aware of it. But yeah. Are we old? I don't know. You notice they weren't comfortable singing. Well, I don't know. No, I say this because I think there's also like a cultural element to it too. Because another thing I've noticed is that like, I guess maybe because of the way karaoke works here usually, I've noticed that like in Japan, everybody does karaoke. Everybody goes for karaoke, like regardless of how good they are at singing. Whereas that is not the case here. Like people won't go to karaoke unless they're already someone who's like predisposed to singing. So that was like another thing I'm like, I think that might be just like a cultural thing here specifically. But yes, hello Ego Angel. But yeah, no, I think 4th of July town event had karaoke and in front of thousands of people got up and sang Brandy by Looking Glass. You cannot embarrass me. It's like, that's the point. That's the point. But yeah, because most of the people I know who do karaoke on a regular basis are either people who are weebs or are musical theater kids or like other music kids who like sing a lot already. Or I guess people who are like people who immigrated from countries where karaoke is more popular and it's just like a thing that they got used to growing up. But like, other than that, I feel like outside of those specific demographics, I feel like karaoke is not terribly popular here. How goes it? Hello, Ixil. Hello. It goes okay. But yeah. But yeah, all that to say, I'm not much for dancing, and the bride had a nice dress. I think I was stressing out about what to wear for nothing. Because, like, the whole time my mom was saying how, like, oh, you might be too casual. What you're wearing might be too casual. And, then I got to the wedding, and there were people who were dressed even more casually than me. Like, there was guys in polos. Like, some of us were wearing, like, suits and dresses and stuff, but, like, there was a lot of guys in polos. Like, I don't know. I think my mom has not been to a wedding for a while. Well, like, I don't know. My parents actually get invited to, like, a fair amount of weddings, but, like, I guess maybe they're, like, different weddings. Because, yeah, no, theirs was pretty casual. Like, I mean, again, a lot of people were showing up with suits. Weirdly enough, one thing I noticed was that, like, the younger people were dressed more formal than the older people. Like, all the younger guys were there in, like, suits and stuff and tuxedos. And then all of the, like, older people, I feel, like, the older guys were, like, the ones who were showing up in, like, polos and regular slacks and such. Yeah, where's Eggy Discord, by the way? I've tried to find it and can't. It should be linked. It should be linked in the about, I think. It should be? But yeah. I don't know if if there'll be another wedding for a while, though. Because, like, I was saying that, like, I don't think out of the people I know, I don't think, like, aside from the people who just got married, like, out of my IRL friend group, the people who are in a relationship don't have money for a wedding. And the people who have money for a wedding are not seeing anyone. So it's like, okay, there's nobody, aside from the two people that just got married, I don't think there's anybody who has both that I know, you know? Can you confirm it is not linked? Strange and unusual. Give me a second. I will fix that. It's possible that, like, it was linked and is it, like, linked and the link expired, or let me see. Invite people? Can I get a link for that? Okay. Here we go. This should work. Yeah. They could wed and have a party later. Well, the thing is that, like, I feel like if you're getting married, you might as well have the party. Because, like, unless there's, like, another reason, like, unless there's, like, some kind of, like, legal or financial reason that you're getting married, like, if you're going to get married, you might as well have the party right then and there, right? But, like, I have known people, though, who have done that, where they've, like, had, like, a tiny, tiny wedding, and then they have, like, a big party, like, years later. Usually on an anniversary, just to, like, you know, have the big, nice wedding with the nice dress, you know? Yeah. Small party and wedding scene's the way to go. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, ideally, you only have to get married once, so you kind of want to do it right the first time, you know? I think that's kind of the mindset. I mean, that's also kind of the mindset I think I would have, is like, you know, you're not going to be doing this over and over. You don't really get, like, a chance to... like, unless something goes terribly wrong, you're probably only going to be getting married once in your life, right? So... yeah. But, yeah. No, it was a fun time. I also got to visit, because, my cousin had a nice small wedding just outside of some town. They rented a cottage in the hills. It was super scenic. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I had a wedding, I don't think I wouldn't want to have it in the middle of nowhere. Because that was, like, actually one of the things my friend was, like, kind of keeping in mind when it came to, picking a venue, was that she's like, I don't want to have to make people have to, like, coordinate rides, you know? So, like, I don't think I would want a wedding that's, like, out kind of in the middle of nowhere, even if it is scenic, I just feel it's like it's scenic, but will all the guests be able to make it there? Like I don't know. I think it also depends what's considered a small wedding. Because like I think the number of people they had there was like, when we went to eat, there was like 7 tables of 8 people plus the bride and the groom. So that was probably like 50 something people. Like I don't know. I told my mom that and she's like, "Oh, that's a small wedding." And I'm like, "Is it? Is it?" I don't know what counts as a small wedding. 5 people. I don't know. I mean, I guess 5 people. I've known people when they do like the kind of like city hall weddings where they just like go to the place and they get married and it's just like the bride and the groom and like a handful of family members to be witnesses and that's it. I guess that is like a 5-person wedding. But no, is 50 people, is 50 something people, is that a small wedding? My mom thinks it's a small wedding. What does your mom see as a normal wedding? I don't know. What is a normal amount of people to have for your wedding? A friend has a cage and is planning, he told me he might do it in Alabama, but 100% of his friends and family live in Illinois. It's a 10-hour drive. I told him if he does this, I just like, if you're gonna invite me, you better like pay for my plane ticket. I'm trying to think of like, what would be, because like I'm trying to think, I guess 50 isn't that small. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, that's a pretty big wedding, but also like maybe it depends on like how many relatives you have. Because like I think about if I were to have a wedding, and like again, this is just on my side of the family, like this isn't even talking about like whoever I'd be marrying, like what their family would look like, but like I have my parents, I have my sister, and then like both my mom and my dad have 4 siblings. So that would be like 4 siblings plus their children. Not all of them have children, but you know, the children that they do have. So that would already be like, that's 4, well that's 3 plus 4, that's 7. That's like 11 people already, and that's just inviting my immediate family and aunts and uncles. Then add another 1, 2, so that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If I invite 17, 18, 19? That's like almost 20 people, even if I invite just my like immediate and extended family. So like just aunts, parents, sister, aunts, uncles, cousins. That's already like 20 people. And like that doesn't even account for like, you know, the side of the family of whoever I'd be marrying, and also, you know, friends and non-relative people, and also the friends and non-relatives of the people I'd be marrying. Like, oh god, that's, I feel like it would end up at least 52. I mean, I guess, I don't know, it depends. I guess you don't have to invite like all your relatives, right? Oh god, and if they have +1s, that's even more people. The biggest I had was Italian friend, big family wedding. It was like 300 people. We were a small army. Yeah, he was also military, so a lot of his military unit came. I guess it depends on how many friends you have that you think would be like invitable to a wedding, you know? Every time I pop into Eggy streams, the topic is weddings. I promise it will change soon. Oh, thank you, Rex Rougeroo. Thank you for sprouting. Don't worry, it's because I went to a wedding. I had a friend who was getting married, so I was thinking about it a lot. Or it's okay. Weddings will not be added to the Eggy bingo card. It's okay. But yeah, no, I'm like, I don't know, because I'm trying to think of like friends I would invite to a wedding. There's at least like 3, because, but they are largely the same friends who were already at this wedding. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm also like in the mindset of like, you know when you have like an important personal occasion and you have like multiple friend groups, and like if I invite my friends from different things, like is this gonna be like a very weird mishmash? Like I think they get along, but like I don't know. It's like if I invite my IRL friends and I'm like, what if I invite VTuber friends too? Like what if I invited Bodega and I'm like, would anybody know Bodega? Would it be awkward if I invite internet friends who like I know very well? I'm like, they can get different tables. Fair. I mean, to be fair, I think Bodega would get along with my IRLs, but I'm just like, like, how many Twitch chatters are you gonna invite to your wedding? Oh, thank you to somebody who just sprouted. Hold on, who was that? Thank you, Nez Skulls. Thank you for sprouting. Yeah. You have to invite enough internet friends. Yeah, it just... It would be better if your random relatives did know the Bodega Rat. I mean, the thing is like, okay, trying to talk to my mom about online friends is kind of weird because I have to keep, like... Okay, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe this is just an online friends thing in general, to try to, like, explain to your parents how it is. Because it's things like, you know... Even for non-VTuber people, I refer to people as their online usernames because that's how they introduce themselves, right? Like, it's not just VTubers. Like, obviously, I mostly call Bodega, but like even people who aren't VTubers, but that I know from online, I know mostly under their online names, right? Like, there's a few eggplants I think I've met at conventions and stuff. I don't know any of your names. You guys didn't tell me. So I'm just still calling you by whatever you introduce yourself as, you know? But it was just kind of like this one of those things where it's like, I'm like, this is my friend Bodega, and it's like, okay. And my mom's like, okay, but like, is her name Bodega? And it's like, I mean, yes it is, but, you know. How does the dynamic of inviting online friends change if your partner is someone you met online? Fair, that's true as well. I don't know, I think maybe it's just an online friends in general thing. Because, like, I don't know, meeting people online isn't that weird nowadays, right? Like, romantically or platonically. Like, isn't, like, the internet now, like, the #1 way that, like, new couples meet nowadays? Isn't that, like, some real statistic or something? Yeah, it's like, well, no, but actually, yes. Yeah, it's like... Or it's the same with other people. It's like... Eggy might not be what's on my passport, but, like, that's what everybody calls me, so it might as well be my name, you know? Bodega's own fault for picking a word, not a name that can fly under the radar. I mean, yeah, but it's like... Oh, thank you, NGO Kai Kang, thank you for spreading. Yeah, if I ever met you, I'd introduce myself with a real name and never mention my username. Doing the opposite. Hello, I'm a person who is not aware of you. Who are you? Don't know you. Zoomer learns what a nickname is. I don't know, it's more like... Boomer learns what a nickname is. I guess also, too, just, like... My... Like... Cause maybe it's just a friends after high school thing, though. Because, like, my mom knows my friends from high school. Because, like... You know, it's not just, like, I would talk to her about them, but also just, like, you know... She would go to recitals, like band recitals and school plays, and, you know, she would pick us up after school for various extracurriculars. Like, she was involved enough that, like, she was familiar with the people who were in my grade. Whereas, like, I guess once you graduate high school, like, even probably for university and college friends, there's probably the same thing where it's like, if I don't tell my mom about them, she has no way of knowing, because she's probably never met them. So I guess it's the same thing for online friends, where it's like, yeah, my mom has not met Bodega, she's heard me talk about Bodega, would she know, like... And half the time I feel like I keep having to refer to her as my friend from New York. Because I'm like, if I say Bodega, she'll be like, who? And I'll be like, oh, the one from New York. And she'll be like, oh, okay. I feel like I have to keep, like... introducing people as the place they're from. I feel like this keeps happening as well. Yeah. I wouldn't dare try to explain this to my mom. She's the one with the text on her phone like 10 sizes too big. It's like, so this girl's an egg? You type at her sarcastic things. Is she real? Is the egg girl real? Luckily, she's the only person who lives in New York. True, I can only have one friend from each city, unfortunately, now. Sorry to anybody who lives in New York. I already have a friend in New York. I cannot have a second one. It's like, I have one friend per city. Ask Bodega to pick a pseudonym name you could use that your mom could react to. Yeah, it's also true, just like, friend I met online. I don't know. Would my mom like Bodega? Is the second question. I'm just like, would my mom be willing to meet Bodega? Yes. Would my mom like Bodega? I don't know. I mean, I guess we're both adults now, so it doesn't really matter. I think if I was a kid and me and Bodega were the same age, I don't know if my mom would like Bodega. I think my mom would think Bodega is a bad influence. Which, to be fair, she wouldn't be wrong. Yeah. But we'll have to say that you're Marie from New York. I'm the friend from Canada. I exist. Yeah. Or you're not full grown. That's what I'm saying. We're both adults now, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just like, in an alternate universe where we met when we were like 9. Yeah. No, Beba wants to be a bad influence on me. She wants me to be evil. She wants me to be evil. She wants to bring about mean Eggy. But yeah. First time chatter, last time chatter too. Why are you French? Sipa. I'm not even technically French, I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian! But yeah. I'm very nice and good IRL with meeting people. I don't make jokes that are sarcastic. You're only mean and bad on the internet. Understood. I don't know. I think maybe everyone's a little meaner and badder on the internet, though. Like, I think most people in real life are actually just normal. Like, I feel like it's very rare to run into somebody who, like, behaves exactly the same on the internet and in real life, I think. I would never be mean and bad on the internet or IRL. Are you sure about that? Never? Ever? Not even once? Yeah. Hello, Baxter Crook. But yeah, like, because I feel like on the internet it's pretty common for people to be... Well, sometimes, I don't know. I guess you get some people who are very nice on the internet and then in real life are just kind of, like, rude. And you also get people, too, who are, like, really rude and boisterous and, like, loud and starting arguments on the internet, and then in real life are just kind of, like, very quiet and polite. Normal! Well, because, like, I don't know, I think some people like arguing on the internet, but I feel like relatively few people actually enjoy arguing in real life, especially with people they don't know. So I feel like it's pretty common to, like, have somebody who's, like, way more normal in real life than versus online. Like, because I've seen this with, like, Lolita fashion too. Like, I feel like a lot of people have this idea that, like, going to a Lolita meetup is scary because, like, people online can be, like, mean and petty. But then, like, I don't know, I've never seen somebody be mean to somebody to their face at a meet. I'm sure it's happened, you know? Like, the world is big, but, like, I've never personally seen it happen. Because, like, why would you do that? Like, if someone walks in with a bad cord, like, you might... I mean, I guess maybe some people would talk shit about them after, but, like, you're not gonna tell them that to their face. Why would you do that? Like, yeah, not literally being in front of the person you're talking to removes, like, 90% of the empathy from people, I swear. I guess, yeah, or I guess the idea that, like, you're saying things in a place where it's not likely that they'll hear you. Your model has a cool art style. Thank you, thank you. Shoutouts to my art mama, who should be linked somewhere in my profile, somewhere, I think. Her name is Colette. But yeah. Offline, if you're too mean, you're susceptible to getting punched if you overdo it. That's true too. That's true too. I remember I remember like in 2020, I was kind of like on cosplay TikTok more often. And I remember somebody saying that they're like, I think that like the lack of conventions, because you know, all the conventions kept getting canceled. And someone's like, I think the lack of conventions has caused like a huge shift because like, you know, the fact that everybody had to see each other in person a couple times a year was kind of keeping things in order because people know that you can't start too many fights or people like it will come back to bite you when you do have to see these people in person. So it's like, I think like all the conventions being canceled kind of like caused some weird shift where people got like way more aggressive because they're like, when am I gonna see you? When will this will never come back to bite me. I will never have to reap anything I sow. But yeah, no, that was yeah. It's like, I don't know. Maybe someday somebody will be mean to me. I don't think I've ever met anybody at a convention so far who has been mean to me. At least not like on purpose, I guess. Like, I'm trying to think if anyone's ever been mean to me at a convention. Like, whether they knew that I was a VTuber or not. Like, I don't know. Has anybody ever been mean to any of you at a convention? Like, in VTubing or otherwise? Once a con security guard was mean to me. Okay, but that's different. That's different, I think. Not really. Yeah, conventions seem pretty chill. That's true. People are there to have a good time. Like, they're not inclined to make the time bad unless they deem it necessary. Security guards do security things. I mean, to be fair, I don't think I've ever actually interacted with a security person. Like, aside from, like, having my badge checked when I'm going into the building kind of thing. I don't think I've ever, like, had, like, any interaction with a security person at a convention at all. Cons are nice. I'm glad I've been able to go to them more recently. Yeah! I don't know. I'm hoping to be able to go to MagFest. I want to go to MagFest. Please let me go to MagFest. Yeah. To be fair, I'm a man, so I can't speak for a woman. Things seem largely chill. Yeah, I mean, as a woman, I think things are largely chill. I think when people have bad experiences and when they talk about them online, I think that those are, like, generally the exception to the rule. Like, I think it's more... Yeah, I think it's the exception to the rule. Because, like, if they were that bad, like, all women would stop going to them, you know? I'm gonna be magless. I need to fix that so badly. Magless. She will never go to MagFest. I've literally been to MagFest twice already. I do intend to go for a third time, if I can, you know. My only concern is just, like, United States travel seems more difficult than it used to be, but I don't know. I know plenty of Canadians who have gone to American conventions in the past year and everything was normal and nothing weird happened, so it should be okay. Yeah. Did you also rescue some figures from your parents' house? Yes, but I didn't bring them with me, but I did put a ton of stuff aside while I was at my parents' house. I put a ton of stuff aside for my parents to bring next time they come. So I'm gonna have my figures, some of them, and I'm gonna have a bunch of clothes, and I'm gonna have a bunch of books and DS games, and my 3DS, my English 3DS. Yeah. 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 people don't complain online when things go well. That's true, right? Like, you're only hearing if something goes particularly well. Like, I guess it's like that for all things that have reviews or feedback, right? Because it's a bit like with, like, product reviews on websites, right? Like, people only leave a review if they had a really good experience or a really bad experience, right? You're only seeing, like, the extremes of it. Because I've seen that with restaurants, too. Like, actually, this was something that, I think I've talked about this before, but this was, like, something I noticed between, Canada and Japan was a huge difference, is that Japanese people use the whole scale when they rate. You know how, like, when you go on, like, Google or, like, Yelp or whatever, and you have the choice of, like, 1 to 5 stars? I feel like people here in Canada only use 1 or 5. Like, they use the two extremes. It's very rare to see somebody have something, like, in the middle. Whereas I feel like people in Japan, they use the whole scale. And, like, here it's like, I feel like people only use 1 or 5, and they also use it in the sense of, like 5 stars here just means, like, everything was good, nothing was wrong, you know? Whereas, like, 5 stars in Japan is, like, this was a life-changing experience. Like, yeah, people in the US do 1 or 5, too. I remember when you could rate a video on YouTube from 1 to 5 stars. Oh, boy, even I'm not that old. Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, 4 stars is top in Japan. Well, it's more like people use the whole scale, right? So, like, 1 star is, like, mean and bad. 2 stars is, like, mean and bad with some redeeming qualities. 3 stars is, like, okay. 4 stars is, like, really pretty good. Pretty nice. And then 5 stars is, like, this was a transcendent experience, you know? So it's one of those things where whereas here it's like 1 star is like mean and bad, and then 5 stars is like, you know, a restaurant that was fine and didn't have anything wrong with it, and a restaurant that where you had like a transcendent experience and met God via food would probably both get 5 stars here, right? Yeah. Says O'Calsley, I'm turning into dust as we speak. Old. Check passage of time off again off the Eggy bingo sheet. Yeah, people get a bad rating on their app or talk from a manager for getting 4 stars here, so that's why 5 means normal. Yeah, I think that's also just like a cultural thing, because like, yeah, you're right. Here, 5 stars is considered the default good. Like, even I remember once on Uber Eats, I was trying to like rate a meal that I had ordered. And if I put in 5 stars, because you know how like on Uber Eats when you're rating a meal, it like prompts you to say like what you liked about it or what you didn't like. So if I set it to 5 stars, the prompts that it gave me were like, you know, good portions. You basically you select from a list. It's like good portions, tasty food, you know, speedy service kind of thing. And then if you put in 4 stars, it was like bad portions, and it's like, you know, food was not tasty, did not get what I ordered kind of thing. And it's like, you know, sometimes the food was just mid. Sometimes the food was just mid. Sometimes it's like everything was fine, but the food was mid. You know? But for some reason, like, if anything is less than 5 stars, and it's assumed to be, like, insufficient in some way. And it's like, no, sometimes... Because also, too, it's like... Sometimes food is mid on purpose. Like, that's the entire point of fast food, you know? It's not supposed to be, like, a delicious, transcendent experience. It's supposed to be, like, a quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's, you know? Like... I think video game and movie reviews have ruined it. Like, 10 out of 10 perfect is like the standard, but like 5 is average, so like 6 sounds bad, but it's better than average. I think the problem too with movie reviews is that people typically don't like, a score is never going to be objective. I guess maybe if it comes from like the kind of reviewer that watches every single movie. But like, you see this with like stuff like I think with like not IMDb, but like, I noticed this a lot on my anime list, where it's like, the scores will be a little inflated because the kind of people who would not like it are not going to watch it, and they're not going to leave it a score, right? Fast food is supposed to be cheap and fast, and it isn't either of those things nowadays. Yeah. We're just gonna call it food. It's just food now. Yeah. Yeah, delivery app driver rating or 5-star equals keeps job, 4-star immediately kicked to the curb is what. Yeah, that too. Also too, I remember Uber Eats. I think they fixed this later, but I remember for a while there was like, there were times where it was like, I ordered food that I did not like, but I didn't want to punish the driver for that because like, that's not their fault, right? They just, like that would literally be shooting the messenger if I gave a bad review. But it's like, I felt like I couldn't leave a bad review of the restaurant without that carrying over to the driver. Where it's like, no, the driver did a fine job. The restaurant just wasn't that great, you know? Sorry, I was eating a hard candy. Let me just chomp it. No. Okay. SPS scores are always gonna be subjective. Critics hated the Speed Racer movie, but it's actually brilliant. Well, yeah, that's why you also have like critic review versus like audience score, right? Because there's always gonna be stuff that's popular with like one but not the other. Yeah. Miles seems to hover at about 7-ish for most anime. No, that sounds about right. Like, I feel like on my anime list, like something that's rated like 5 is considered like bad, right? I feel like there's very few anime that are rated below 5 because you'd have to get like everybody to agree that this thing sucks, right? But at the same time, something that's considered like 8 or higher is usually considered like very good. So, I don't know. For me, usually how I interpret the scores is like anything 8 or higher is usually generally agreed upon to be very good. Anything below a 6 is considered to be bad, like generally agreed to not be very good. And then like anything that's like within the 6 or 7 range, I think is usually just like, this is, because I feel like a lot of stuff with 6 or 7 is like, either it's kind of like normal default anime, or it's like something that's like very niche, where it's like the kind of people who are into this kind of thing already will really love this, but like everybody else, you know, hit or miss. So yeah, I think there's a lot of shows that are like that, where it's like, because I've watched shows I've really liked that were rated like 6.8. And that's just because it's like, yeah, this is something that was like not for everybody. But yeah. There used to be this awesome site, objectivegamereviews.com, that would dryly list details about the game and then arbitrarily assign a score. Wait, so it would just be like, this is a platformer. And it'd be like, 7. They just like throw a number at it. Yeah. There's also a thing that a lot of people are refusing to use the entire scale. Like something that really should be a 3 will be rated to 6 because people just don't understand how to use a scale. Well, I don't know. I think that with anime specifically as well, there's also the problem of like, if you hated this thing so much, you wouldn't have finished it. So there's a lot of things where I'm like, I only like leaving scores if I've watched something to completion, or at least to like relative completion. But I'm just like, I don't want to. Like, I evidently, if I got through this to the end, there must have been something there that was keeping me there. I like your voice. It's not forced like other VTubers. I mean, forcing a voice is a skill in itself, if anything. I admire people who can keep up a voice when streaming. This is my natural voice, more or less, but that's not out of, that's not, if anything, that's a weakness on my part. That's a weakness on my part. I think most reviews of things are going to be love or hate because few people are going to be like, I watched it, it was okay. Yeah, exactly. Like, unless you're the kind of person, like, unless you are, like, an anime reviewer and that is your job and you are watching everything every season, then, like, I feel like, yeah, you're not going to have, like, you're not going to be watching things to completion if you don't like them. Right? Yeah. But yeah, this would have been perfect time to pull the high-pitch Eggy redeem. Oh yeah, Mo Eggy. I don't know. Well, okay. To be fair, my voice is kind of tired. Hold on. I'm gonna drink some water. I don't know if I can keep up the cute Eggy voice for too long. Cause like I am almost no longer. I was sick like a few weeks ago, and then I had, you know, lingering cough as one does. And I mean, my voice is mostly back and I'm okay, but like I don't think I can keep up voices for very long. Yeah. The scores are kind of worthless for anime. If you get a show that's like 6 out of 10, you're either dealing with something that's so horrible you're gonna throw your remote at your TV. Yeah, or I don't know. Sometimes I think there's people who like... Okay, this is another thing I've noticed with my anime list, is you can tell the exact demographic of people who use my anime list just by looking at like the top shows. Like, because I've seen some people who like will leave reviews on things that they're like, you know, it's not for them, but then they somehow like I think being able to tell the difference between this is bad and this is not for me, or like I am not the target demographic for this, is like a underrated skill to have. Because sometimes you look at some reviews and people will be like, this show is like really childish and immature, and then you look at the show and it's like Pretty Cure. It's like a show for like actual children. And it's like, I don't know, you might just not be the target demographic for this. Yeah. I don't like if it's straight up too thin or just a mommy voice. I mean, I don't know. Again, even that, I'm like, I admire, even if I don't like how it sounds, I can admire that people can keep it up for like an entire stream. But yeah. At least no more phlegm. Yeah, no more phlegm. No more phlegm. Wasn't Pretty Cure the magical girl show where they got hands? They do got hands. Pretty Cure does have hands. No, Pretty Cure is like... Pretty Cure is... I can only describe it as like... It's basically like... Tokusatsu, but like it's animated and it's magical girls. Like I feel like the format is more similar to Tokusatsu than it is to other anime. Because like when I think about like how Pretty Cure is marketed, like I feel like a lot of the times when I see things in Japan that are like, we have Pretty Cure toys at McDonald's or something, usually they will have it paired up with like something Tokusatsu. Like they'll have it paired up with like Kamen Rider or something. Like, yeah, I'd say it's basically Power Rangers with magical girls. I'd say, yeah, it's almost more, and even like the format, because like Pretty Cure, it's the franchise has been around for over 2 decades now. But basically what they do is that instead of having one show, like it's not like One Piece where it's just been like one thing that's continuing the whole time. They basically make a new one every year. So every year there's like a new Pretty Cure with new characters and a new plot and a new setting, which makes sense as a children's franchise. Because like, realistically speaking, like the thing with kid shows is that like, especially for younger kids, they grow out of things really quickly, right? They grow out of things. So like the idea of like having something reset every year is like kind of smart, I think, because it's like, you know, by the time you get to the end of this year, whoever was watching, the kids might have decided that they've grown out of it already, right? And then, you know, you can start a new one and you'll get, you know, the new demographic of kids who just aged into this, right? Yeah, kind of like how Kamen Rider does. Exactly, that's what I was saying. Like, it seems to have more in common with Tokusatsu than it does with, like... Oh, thank you, Momo Tuvu. Thank you for sprouting. Yeah. Yeah, people gotta understand that sometimes in Pretty Cure the Earth gets blown up and the girls are still fighting the bad guy on the planet's drifting fragment. It can go so hard sometimes. Yeah, yeah. It's like... Like, again, this is Tokusatsu, but it animated. Like, I think also, too, it's also one of those shows that I think, like, it's Toei Animation, I think that makes it, right? They throw a lot of money and time and resources at it. Like, I also can't, like, I cannot understate how popular Pretty Cure is in Japan. Like, I cannot understate that. I think people underestimate it. Like, they assume when they say it's popular in Japan, it's like, oh yeah, some people watch it. No, like, Pretty Cure is like mainstream, basically. Like, it is a popular children's television show. It is an industry. Yeah, it's an industry in itself. Like, if you ask a random person in Japan to name one anime, it's pretty likely that, like, Pretty Cure is the name that they will come up with. Like, yeah, coveted dual demographic too. Yeah, like, it's popular with children, but it also has, like, a pretty solid, like, otaku demographic. And somehow both of those things manage to coexist, I think, is what I think is interesting. Like, they managed to make merch for both of them. The other thing, too, is that now that it's been around for so long, they also got, like, the third demographic of, like, the adults who grew up watching this thing. Like, I know they came out with, I think they called it, like, Otona Precure. They did a movie. I think it was a TV movie they did for it, where it's basically, like, characters from one of the earlier seasons, but, like, they're grown up. They're, like, in their 20s now. And there's, like, a different story with that. So, yeah, like, they've been around for long enough now that they've gotten that, like, third demographic of, like, nostalgia, you know? They got the third demographic of nostalgia. Thank you. Ooh. I'm doing challenge every stream I visit. I drink 1 carton of milk. Do not overdrink your milk. Oh, thank you, Fox Adlam 91. Thank you for sprouting. Yeah. Meanwhile, DC killed Young Justice because they accidentally hit a second demographic. Too many demographics. We don't know how to market this anymore. Well, it's like, I don't know, because, like, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything that, like, kind of happened like that here. I guess maybe My Little Pony Friendship is Magic kind of counts, right? Because that was, like, another one that, like, I guess hit 2 demographics. But I don't know. I feel like it's a little different because I feel like both demographics were, like, engaging with it in very different ways, which I don't think is as much of the case for Precure. But yeah. No, Precure, I cannot understate how popular Precure is. There's so many things I feel like I can't understate how popular they are in Japan, and I don't think people realize this. I feel like Detective Conan is, like, another one of those. Where it's like, if anything, I think people in Japan overestimate how popular Detective Conan is in other places. I mean, I know it's also popular in a lot of places in Asia. I remember my friend was telling me, I was talking to my friend who, she took a trip to China, like, earlier this year, and she was like, yeah, there was, like, this one streaming service that I was, like, using while I was there, and they had, like, 3 things. They had, like, Chinese movies and dramas, they had classic American films, and they had Detective Conan. Like, those are the 3 things. Right? Yeah. Yeah, 2 demographics simply cater to the one with most money. Well, the thing is, though, I think for Precure, there's kind of both, right? It's just that the money comes from different places, right? Yeah, My Little Pony, I think, actually hit 3 demographics. Children, their parents, and weird teenagers. I don't know, do the parents count, though? I feel like, to me, parents are looped in with the children, right? Because, like, the parents are the ones that actually have the money to buy toys and stuff, right? So, like, if the kids like a thing, the parents are being dragged along. But, like, would the parents watch this thing if they weren't with their children? I'm not sure if they really count, like, in that way, you know? But yeah, my coworker from Asia made a Detective Conan reference and no one got it but me, and I didn't say anything. I know, it's like, because I know it's very popular elsewhere in Asia, and I know, like, it is released here. It just, like, isn't that big for whatever reason. I don't know. I've been watching Detective Conan lately at the gym because, like, there's 1 billion episodes of it, so I know I'm never going to run out of content. One of the funniest patterns that I've noticed in earlier Detective Conan episodes, though, is just, like, if you meet Conan Edogawa and you are single, you're safe. If you meet Conan Edogawa and you have been married for many years, you are safe. If you meet him and you are either about to get married or just got married, you are screwed. Like, either you or your betrothed are about to commit murder and or be murdered. Like, Nothing happens to recently married couples or couples that are about to get married. It's like just a weirdly funny pattern I keep noticing in the early episodes. Just like... It's like, yeah. Just don't get married within the vicinity of him. Otherwise, you're screwed. I'd say the parents count, like with Bluey. Like, there's a difference between putting on a show for your kid and willingly watching the show with them. I guess that's true. But, like, I don't know. I feel like when shows are... would you say Bluey is marketed towards parents, though? Because usually when I think of shows that are marketed towards parents, usually it's stuff that's, like, in my mind I'd be like, it's stuff that would be, like, educational or something. Where it's like, show this to... sorry. Show this to your child because it will be, like, beneficial for their growth and development kind of thing, you know? But I guess maybe there are shows now that are like, here's a thing you can watch together as a family and you will both enjoy it. I guess that's always been the point of family movies, I guess. It's like, yeah, this is something that your children will like and you will also probably like. Bluey's marketed to Australian children mentally ill. Oh yeah, I forgot it's Australian, isn't it? Has there been, like, I remember back in the day hearing about, like, how... Because remember when Peppa Pig was really popular? And I remember hearing about, like, children who watch Peppa Pig, like, especially younger children, like, developing British accents because they were hearing British English. Has there been, like, any reports of, like, children who watch a lot of Bluey, like, being suddenly, like... Australian, even if they've never been to Australia? Yeah. Bluey feels like a case of accidentally hitting a demographic. My Little Pony felt like it was made for adults to also enjoy, so it could be kids and parents at the same time, and then they had the accidental demographic that wasn't originally marketed to. I don't know, I feel like as well, like... Because, like, after that... I mean, I don't know. Because I feel like there was definitely shows before My Little Pony that, like, were not intended for adults, but, like, had a pretty big adult fan base. But I feel like afterwards it was more common, right? Because, like, I remember thinking about things like Adventure Time and Steven Universe and Gravity Falls, and, like, those were also, like, made for kids, but they also had, like, a pretty big adult demographic, right? And it wasn't, like, nostalgic adults, right? It was like, no, these are just adults who are like, yeah, I like Adventure Time. Remember hearing about New Yorker talents complaining about Mystic Knights via New York Times article and that kids are picking up Irish English? Yeah, I mean, because I'm trying to think of, like, did I watch... I feel like most of the shows I watched as a kid were either Canadian or American. There was probably British shows in there somewhere, but I feel like most of it was, like, made and produced in North America. Hello, Acapanda, hello. North America. Sorry, I'm gonna get some more water. I've been watching too much Eggy and picking up Canadian. Well, it's like also too, I feel like maybe because kids are probably now hearing like a bigger variety of accents nowadays. Especially if they're using the internet. So I'm like, are we just gonna end up with like one big accent that's just like a mix of everything? Makes me want to call a knit cap a toque. Is that not what it's called? Un toque? Say un toque? A toque? What's a toque? Say un toque. You spell it with a Q. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird too, because I feel like Canada, I think, actually has a lot of animated children's shows. I don't know, I was thinking about this recently, because, like, it's not a children's show, but I was thinking about when I was watching, the Scott Pilgrim anime. Because, like, the Scott Pilgrim anime, obviously, like, Scott Pilgrim, the story takes place in Toronto, and they animated Toronto. Like, they animated Toronto, it looks like real Toronto, like, that's what the city looks like. But to me, I was surprised, because I'm like, I feel like there's so many animated shows in Canada, but I feel like so many of them don't actually animate Canada. Like, there's a lot of, like, shows, I think, that, like, or if they are in Canada, it's, like, in a nondescript location, right? Like, it's not, like, Toronto, and it's, like, identifiably Toronto. It's, like, this show takes place in a city, or a forest, or, like it's kind of, like, a nondescript location. So I was one of those things where I'm, like, oh, yeah, I need to watch Turning Red, because I think that one takes place in Toronto, too. I feel like it's rare to, like, see a Canadian thing that, like, takes place in a place that's, like, identifiably Canada, in the same way that, like, a lot of American shows will take place in, like, places that are, like, identifiably New York, or, like, identifiably LA or something, you know? Yeah. My child is watching too many Canadian shows. They keep saying sorry wrong. What do you mean it's wrong? What do you mean wrong? Why did you decide to make your avatar egg-themed? Egg. Egg. Well, honestly, it's because, like, I had so many, like, eggs-themed usernames before VTubing that I'm like, well, might as well continue with it. Egg. Yeah. I've seen lots of Vancouver and shows movies. On purpose or by accident, though? Yeah, even in Animation Canada, can't be allowed to play itself. Yeah, exactly. Because you're right, there's a lot of films that are, like, filmed in Canada. But yeah, you're right, a lot of them aren't, like, they're supposed to be, you know, places in the US or just, like, nondescript location, you know? Like, I mean, it's gotten to the point, I think my mom, I think somewhere close to previous Eggy City, is where they film a lot of, like, Hallmark Christmas movies, I think. Because I know my mom had, like, a time for a while where she just, like, really liked watching Hallmark Christmas movies. And every so often, she would, like, look at one and she would see a location and she's like, I think I've been there before. I mean, to be fair, I've also had times where, I think there was one summer I was working somewhere and, like, I was working at a mall and one of the entrances, they were like, yeah, you can't use this entrance. It's closed off because they're filming a movie there. And, like, it tended to be, like, Hallmark Christmas movies. They film them in, like, the summer, I guess, so that they have them in time ready for the winter, but yeah. I just gave up and assumed all music and VTubers I enjoy are Canadian. It's over. I mean, there are a lot of Canadian VTubers. But the US, on the other hand, has a mythical studio zone. 12-mile radius around the studio lots in LA. It's just studios. Studios. But yeah, no, like here I think lots of stuff gets filmed in Vancouver. And lots of stuff I think gets filmed in Toronto as well. And I think there's also, like, I've seen, like, other random things where, like, I'll watch something on Netflix and then they're like, this was filmed in Nova Scotia. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess Canada, if you need mountains, we got them. If you need, the beach, if you need water, we got that. If you need lakes, we got that. You need a spooky forest, we got that. You need a big city, we got that. Yeah. Love Christmas, let's enjoy Halloween. I'm European, but I never felt Halloween vibe this strong. Do you celebrate Halloween in Canada? Yes. Well, less and less so. Less and less so. I'm gonna be old. I'm gonna be old for a moment and be like, the kids aren't trick-or-treating like they used to. I, for one, will never bow down to this trunk-or-treat nonsense. I don't know. I'm worried that, like, trick-or-treating is gonna become, like, an old person thing. Like, people in the future who are, like, my age are like, when I was a wee lass, I used to trick-or-treat. I used to go door to door and ask for candy. Yeah. Kind of already is an old person thing. Is it? Yeah, trunk or treat feels a bit sad. I just think that, like, you shouldn't be taking your kids to a parking lot. I recently offended my mother by insulting trunk or treat. Is she like that ride or die for trunk or treat? Hello, Tomimi. Hello, Raiders. Hello. Hope you had lots of fun on your trip. It was pretty fun. Hello. For people who are new, I am NiceEggy. I am nice, and I'm an eggy. And today we're yapping because I was away for a week. But usually I will sing, and usually I will zhong, and usually I play cozy games. Yeah. Yeah. There's a similar festival locally here, Trick or Treat, but with songs, and less kids are participating. I have no idea why. Yeah, because, like, I feel like here, like, we would trick or treat, but I feel like that kind of, COVID kind of killed that, which is weird because I'm like, in my mind, I feel like trick-or-treating is probably one of the more COVID-safe activities, given that, like, everyone is already outdoors and some people were already wearing things over their face to begin with. But yeah, either way, like, I think that's where trunk or treat kind of sprouted from, but I don't like it, and I think it's a bad thing. It's a thing that existed to solve a problem, but I think that it is overall detrimental. Yeah, I think parents being afraid of their kids being out at night. I mean, the thing is though, is that like, the neighborhood I lived in before, in previous Eggy City, there was a lot of like, because of like the size of the houses and stuff there was a lot of like, very young parents with very young children. So like actually when like kids would still definitely trick or treat, but like usually by the time it was dark, they would all be back because they were all kids who were like, you know, like preschool age, like they were like 3 years old, right? So like they were not old enough to be like out after dark. So that, yeah, the parents would just have them, you know, do all their stuff at like 6 p.m. before the sun went down. And then, yeah. So it's like, even if you're afraid of your kids going out after dark, you can just, like, not have them go out after dark. Like, I remember trick-or-treating would end pretty early. And, like, after, like, you know, 7:30 or so, we wouldn't really get a lot of people. But yeah, no, I just think, I don't know, trunk-or-treat is sad because I just think it's sad that there might be a generation of kids who will have any nostalgic attachment to parking lots. I just think nobody should have nostalgia for a parking lot. We should not be building a world where somebody would have nostalgia for a parking lot. I think that's just like a bad thing. Can't explain how, but it feels like a bad thing, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I remember last year, I didn't see any trick-or-treaters. And I don't just mean like, oh, like nobody came to our house because my grandma never turns on the porch light. What I mean is like, I didn't even see people walking around in costumes. Like, last year I had work that day, so like, on the way back, I had to walk through a mall because I had to do that to transfer buses. And the mall had some kind of like Halloween event going on. So I did see people in costume there, but like walking around, I was walking around at like trick-or-treating hours and like there was nobody. Yeah. I think it's healthy for kids to go out and talk to strangers in a controlled environment. Yeah! Yeah! Like, just, like, it's community building. I guess maybe if people don't know their neighbors or anything, but, like, also, I think a lot of the, like, I guess I understand some of the dangers of Halloween in terms of, like, car accidents, but, like, I feel like the whole thing of, like, they're poisoning the children's candies has, like, always been overstated. Like, I remember, like, once, like, I was listening to a podcast episode about it, and it's, like, most of the cases of that actually happening were, like, things that weren't actually related to Halloween candy. I pay fair nights for this parking lot. What else was I supposed to do with it? That's it. We're living in the parking lot. Nobody. All activities, all extracurricular activities are now happening in the parking lot. Yeah. Yeah, every week I argue with the family about whether an 8-year-old should be allowed to go across the street and buy a sandwich alone. Across the street? Like, literally across the street? Like, the parents can see them from their house? Like... Like their house? I mean, I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, I feel like... Because, like, when I was a kid, I took the school bus. And the school bus had a rule that, like, for kids under a certain age, the school bus driver would only let them off the bus if there was a parent or there was somebody there to pick them up. So yeah, some parents will get thrown off by that, especially people who live like really close to the bus stop. They're like, this bus basically comes right in front of my house, and the bus driver was still like, nope, you gotta be there, otherwise I don't let your kid off the bus. And now I don't even know if that's like a thing, an issue that they run into nowadays. Or if parents just like assume that they have to be there. But, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think children should be allowed to trick-or-treat. I think trick-or-treating is a good thing. Then they should trick-or-treat at actual houses. And not in a parking lot. I don't know if that's a hot take. Hold on, I'm gonna get more water. Give me a second. Blech. It's Egg. Hi, Egg. It Azor. Hi, Azor.
It's Egg. Hi, Egg. NiceEggy squib.
Just pouring some more. Really? I keep forgetting how small my kettle is. And it's also the kind of shape where, like, you have to turn it, like, almost upside down if you're, like, trying to get the last few drops out. I got enough water, though. I'm good. Ooh. To be fair, I think I was also like, why is there no water in here? And it's like, oh right, I forgot that I like poured a significant chunk of it into my humidifier to turn it on. But yeah. Oh god, what am I gonna make for lunch? Here we go, grocery streamer again. I just realized I'm like, cause like I bought a bunch of food. Listen to my woes. I'm going to recite my woes. So, I guess it wasn't... What was it, last Thursday? It wasn't last Thursday. It was a Thursday before. Okay, on Tuesday 2 weeks ago, I went to the store and I bought a bunch of produce. And I was like, I'm going to bake a bunch of healthy meals with this produce. And then I proceeded to be sick for 4 days. And I didn't want to go into the kitchen because I didn't want to get my germs everywhere. And I also just didn't have the energy to make anything either. So the produce sat in my refrigerator for several days. And then I proceeded to turn around and go on a trip. Once I was recovered, I went on a trip for another, like, week. So, I now have a bunch of stuff in my fridge that I don't know if it's safe to eat anymore or not. Because I'm like... Like, I bought so much produce. Like, some of it I managed to pickle. Like, I bought a daikon with the intention of pickling it, so that the daikon is being pickled, the cucumber's being pickled. Those guys are fine. But then I'm like, oh god, I got mushrooms, I got cabbage, I got bok choy. I think the bok choy are fine. They looked fine. I think the bok choy are fine. But I got so much stuff, and I'm like, oh no, how am I gonna get through all this stuff? And it's mostly stuff that I couldn't even, like, freeze even if I wanted to, right? Like, you can't really freeze bok choy. It, like, ruins the texture. Have you tried food? It's pretty popular. I've been trying food over and over. Okay, actually, it might be time for everyone's favorite tradition on stream, where I get up and leave you for a bit. Here we go. I think it might be time for the silly washroom face. So I will be back momentarily. But it is time for washroom. And I think I might have to turn on the other music too. You'll have to talk amongst yourself. Yes. And I will make a silly face, and everyone will laugh about it while I am gone. I'll be back momentarily. Alright. Alright. Get rid of this. There we go. I see you have the return of Eggy Face Hour. Yes, the return of Washroom Face. Hot take, I don't like eggs. I think they are stinky. Wow! Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Luckily, I don't have to taste or smell nice eggy, so we're all good. Wow! Wow! I'm stinky. Eh. I don't know, I guess maybe... I don't know, I try not to be stinky. I try not to be stinky. I have to wash and be clean. Yeah, but pancakes are fire. I don't know, pancakes are just okay, I think. I feel like they're a little too sweet and heavy for, like, breakfast. But I feel like I like them as dessert. But yeah. How dare... How dare. I love pancakes. Well, look, I feel like pancakes is one of those things where, like, I thought I didn't like them. And then I went to Japan. And then cause, like, here, pancakes, stuff like, it's the same thing with French toast. Like, here they're considered breakfast foods, right? But in Japan, they're considered more in the realm of, like, desserts. And then I realized that, like, cause I used to think I didn't like French toast. And then I realized I do like French toast. I just don't like French toast for breakfast. You know? Check off the time Eggy went to Japan in your Eggy bingo cards, I guess. Yeah, and biscuits and gravy. Okay, biscuits and gravy actually aren't that common in Canada, but I have had them when I've gone to the States. I actually do like biscuits and gravy. I think my thing is just, like, I don't like when things are, like, super sweet at breakfast. Like, I can handle some sweetness. Like, I like having, like, fruit and yogurt and stuff. And sometimes if I go to a brunch place, I'll order, like, a fruit crepe. I feel like if I go for brunch, though, I usually end up getting, like, some kind of, like, sweet-salty combo, you know? Like, you know the ones where it's like, okay, we give you, like, an egg, but then we also give you, like, a small fruit crepe. Like, I like those. I think I just can't eat a heavy dessert for breakfast is the thing. You know? I prefer waffles over pancakes. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I think I prefer crepes over both. I prefer crepes over both. Return of the egg. The eggy. Soon he's gonna be like, I got a horrible disease I thought was awful. I went to Japan and realized it was fine and good. No, it's like the foods. It's the foods. Well, it's not even the foods necessarily, because, like, the pancakes in Japan, I think, are, like, they're still pancakes, but, like, it's the situation in which the food is eaten that is different. Do you like buckwheat crepes? Not that much, actually. You'd think I would, but not as much. Savory crepes are great. I think crepes are good because they're a bit more versatile. Like, you can't really have, well, I guess you can have savory pancakes, but they're usually not called pancakes, right? But you can have, like, a crepe with, like, I used to have, a chicken Caesar crepe pretty often. Because there was a place at the mall that had crepes when I was working at a mall. And I would get, like, I would get that for lunch pretty often. But, yeah, no, I think I'm more of a crepes person. But eggs are fine and okay. Eggs are not that stinky. Eggs are not stinky. Maybe if they've gone bad. But, like, any food is stinky if it goes bad. Fresh eggs are not that stinky. They are not stinky. I am not stinky. I had someone tell me that French onion soup was good, and my mindset was, I hope so. It's pretty much impossible to mess up French onion soup. You think so? See, actually, that was one of the things that, I think I actually had a worse version of in Japan. Like, French onion soup, there was a number of restaurants that had it. Not all of them did it equally well. Did you have a bad onion soup? Okay. So there's a few different famiresus that have, they usually call it like onion gratin soup or something. They don't call it French onion soup, but like they have what's basically French onion soup, you know, it's like the onion soup with like, you know, the bread and the cheese on top. Not all of them do it equally well. Royal Host did it well. Saizeriya did not do it well. Does Saizeriya even still do it? Hold on. Saizeriya onion soup. I'm just making sure it was Saizeriya, so I'm not like Saizeriya isn't like catching us astray. Yeah, I was not fond of the Saizeriya onion soup. I think they somehow did everything wrong. They just kind of did everything wrong. Like, first of all, they don't serve it. You know how usually French onion soup is in those specific kind of like casserole bowls? They don't do that. They just serve it to you in a regular bowl. It's just in a regular bowl. And I'm trying to remember, because I seen, okay, the pictures are confirming this. They don't put nearly enough bread. They don't put nearly enough bread. I felt like when I had it, like, because usually it's, when they put bread in it, usually it's like a very, like, crusty bread, right? And they usually put a pretty thick layer of it. But, like, the Saizeriya one, I think they just didn't put enough, because it sometimes just felt like the cheese was floating directly on top of the soup. Yeah, I did not care for it. Did not care for it. Yeah, French onion soup seems simple, so it's easy to mess up. I've had mid soup, I wouldn't consider it bad. I think the other thing too, because like French onion soup, you know how when you use the casserole bowls, they hold a lot of heat, right? So your soup stays warm for longer, but like, again, Saizeriya was just using like their regular normal bowls, and I felt like those didn't hold heat as well. So like, I felt like my soup went cold pretty quickly. So yes, it is possible to mess up French onion soup. I think I have a condition that makes eggs smell weird for me. Eggs smell the same when rotten or not. Maybe it's like the cilantro gene. Like how some people taste soap. Maybe some people just like hate the smell of eggs genetically. Eggy, do you the eggs? Do you the eggs? Are you a cannibal? I'm not technically an egg. I'm an egg girl. I'm an egg girl. It's like a cat girl, but like eggs. I'm a girl with egg features. I'm not fully egg. I had a French onion soup once where they served a single toast with cheese over it, but it was cold in the middle because the cheese was fresh from the fridge. No! No! They missed the point! They missed the point! The cheese has to be melted! Was the cheese even melted? This is like the Scrandle. This is like, you know, when in Scrandle when they have the like cheesy fries that shows up and it's just like French fries with like 2 slices of like processed cheese on top of it. And it's like, well, this technically fits the description, but it was melted. Okay. Like to me that feels like a very Scrandle. A very Scrandle thing to have. I want Panera soup now. Panera soup. I don't know if it's just like the location of Panera that I've been to the last few times I went. I don't know if it's even the same person who's been doing this, but like, I feel like every time I go to Panera, there's somebody there who's having just like an absolutely intense phone conversation about like some huge, massive emotional matter. I don't know if it's the same person who's been having, like, I don't know if there's just like one lady who has a lot going on in her life who just keeps hanging around the same Panera, or like something else. But like, I feel like every time I go to Panera, there's somebody having just like an intense conversation. Is this a universal thing? Is this like everywhere that has Paneras has people having intense conversations on the phone in them? Or is that just like the Panera that I've been going to? Is it just that one location that just like is just, because like for all I know, it might be the same person. That's pretty common to have a couple having a fight in every Panera. I think it's just part of their staff. Is it? But it's not a couple having a fight. It's one person on the phone. All right, IHOP is pretty intense. Well, I mean, everybody hears about Waffle House. We don't have Waffle House here. I've only been to IHOP once, so I can't speak on IHOP. Because, like, I went once, and it was not very busy. It was, like, the middle of, like, a weekday, and I think we were, like, the only people in the restaurant. I can see it being Panera specific. I don't know, where else is a good place to have an argument? Panera... Because, like, I don't know. Waffle House is usually known to be, like, the fighting grounds. I guess I've heard about McDonald's, some pretty chaotic McDonald's. Maybe Panera is the go-to for the emotionally unstable. I don't know. Are you like, nothing is going right in my life, so I'm gonna try and fix it with soup and sandwiches? Surely a dozen bagels will fix this. Yeah, Waffle House is cheap fast food that's open 24/7. I'm just asking for trouble. Well, I mean, most of the most chaotic McDonald's that I've heard about have been 24-hour ones. Like, I don't even know if I can talk about this McDonald's because I feel like it'll dox me. But previous Eggy said he had like a legendarily chaotic McDonald's. And it was like kind of the location that it was in that mostly caused it. But they had to change from being a 24-hour location to being only open until midnight. Because just like the worst things that were happening were all happening, I guess, after midnight. Because it was one of those ones that was like in a place that just like attracted all sorts of things. So it was like, it was in a location where there's a lot of tourists. There's a lot of homeless people. There's a lot of students. And it was also apparently relatively close to some like nightclubs. So you'd also get the like, you know, drunk party goers in the middle of the night kind of demographic. So all of that just made it like just the most chaotic McDonald's in the city. It's gone now. They closed it a few years ago because like it was getting to the point that like the police were there all the time, but also a lot of private security companies just refused to do business with them. So yeah, they were like, yeah, we'll just close the location. There's other McDonald's is McDonald's. There's enough other other McDonald's nearby that if people need to go to McDonald's, they can find one. Question: tonight is the evening before Halloween. Do you have a name for this day? I don't know, because like Halloween is a holiday you celebrate in the evening, right? Because like sometimes I think about Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and it's like Christmas Day is usually largely celebrated in the morning, right? Like both secularly and religiously. Like the morning time on Christmas Day is either when you're going to be opening presents or going to church, right? So I feel like the evening before Christmas means something because it's like, yes, this is like one continuous 24 hours of celebration. Half of it's being done the night before. Whereas like Halloween, you don't really have Halloween Eve. Because like, yeah, you wake up on the 31st, but like nothing Halloween-y happens until like at least 5 p.m. You celebrate All Hallows Day? No, I think here it's just Halloween. Right, because All Hallows Day, isn't it technically like November 1st or something? And then Halloween is like All Hallows Eve, it's like the night before. In America, we call it Mischief Night because we get up to mischief makery. You're tricking and you're treating. But yeah. Oh, speaking of Halloween, I'm trying to figure out what I should do tomorrow, guys. For stream. Because I know I'm going to stream tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, okay. So tomorrow morning is going to be Mahjong, but it will be a little different than usual for reasons that will presumably be revealed later. But yeah, tomorrow morning we're jogging. We're jogging tomorrow morning. But I figured I'm like, because I don't have anything planned for the evening. I'm like, I feel like I should do something Halloween-y, but I don't know what. Because I'm like, I don't have any Skelly games. I don't usually stream Skelly games. I guess I could do Halloween karaoke, but I don't know how good I am with singing right now. So I'm like, what do I do for Halloween? I didn't plan anything far enough in advance. I didn't plan anything. Halloween karaoke or costume review? Sweet Game probably still has the Halloween skin. I don't know. I'm like, In September 1st, I remind you per scheduled tweet about something. Yeah, that you reminded me about my anniversary, which is still like another month out or so, you know? Yeah, it was the anniversary's in November. That's next month. That's not until like November 21st or something. But it's like, I need to do something for Halloween because I feel like I'm gonna look a little hypocritical if I, you know, talk about how nobody's doing for anything for Halloween and then I don't do something for Halloween, right? How's that coming along? I need to message people about stuff. I need to message people about stuff. BTS Eggy recolor? You'll see. You'll see. Presumably, if it gets done in time. It might be a little late. I don't know. It depends. Depends on scheduling. But egg is yellow-white? Yeah, but what if I'm Sentry Egg? For Halloween. Maybe inverted? Well, like I made the hat like yellow with a white ribbon. But yeah, I'm just like, Yes, and white hair, maybe red. I don't know. What's Scary Egg? What can you do for Scary Egg for Halloween? Plans? People actually make those? Yeah, it turns out if you want to do stuff, you have to actually you have to you have to do things on purpose. Vampire egg? I don't know, like a Scary Egg is rotten, but I don't think you should do that. Yeah. I don't know, zombie egg. Oh, I know what I can be. I can be green eggs and ham. I can become green. I'll be green eggs and ham. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Green eggs and ham. But yeah, I'm like, But like, what do we actually do is the question. Because it's not just about, it's also about like actually doing stuff, you know? You have to actually do things. Can't just be green eggs and ham. You have to do something as green eggs and ham. I'm like, Do we play Skelly game? Do we read the book maybe? I'm not reading Green Eggs and Ham for Halloween. I don't know. Maybe if I'll sing tomorrow. Maybe depending on how my voice feels. Because like I have to sing anyway because I have something to record that's like due on the 1st. So I'll probably have to sing. I don't know. How does my singing voice feel? I mean, it sounds fine and it doesn't feel strained or anything. I can't say that I would be going at like full power, but it's not gonna kill me, I don't think. I guess breathing probably wouldn't be like at its peak, but like. Okay, it's a little shaky, but workable. Okay, not so bad. We'll see how it feels tomorrow. Like, all the tension that I was dealing with, like, before I got sick is, like, gone. So I'm assuming maybe that was just linked to diseases. So, yeah. You're so good at singing. Thank you. How scary of a game can you handle? I don't know. My fears are niche. For people who've been here a while, I've talked about this before. My fears are so niche that, like, there aren't really horror games that probably would cater to them, and even if there were, I would not want to play them because that would become too inconvenient. Yes, Robert, I'm aware of the new Animal Crossing DLC. I think we were talking about it earlier before you got here. But yeah, like, I don't know. My fears are niche. I'm like, maybe it's a bad idea to just tell people what I'm afraid of, like, on the internet, but I'm just like, I feel like, my fears are niche. Like, what is a niche fear? I guess I'm scared of dogs, but, like, not in pictures or anything. I'm good with, like, pictures of dogs. It's just, like, when I'm around real-life dogs. Dogs are scary. I'm afraid of, like, thalassophobia niche. No, I'm afraid of, like... This is gonna sound weird, but you know, like, when you watch a movie, and before the movie starts, they play, like, all the logos of the movie companies? Those scare me so much for some reason. I don't know why. Also, ones that are blue are worse for me. Like, the more blue they are, the scarier it is. I cannot explain this. I've yet to find somebody else that has the same fear. That makes sense. Same, I have that as well. Do you loud cinema noises? No, it's not just the noise, it's like the logo itself. Even if it's shown to me on mute, I still find it scary. Like, hello, hello. Yeah, Miss Toon, you talk fast? As one does. Yes. But yeah, those logos in cinema are huge and loud, but also at a TV. Yeah, but like, honestly, I just like close my eyes when I'm like seeing them. How fast can you talk? I don't know. I can't. If I do it on purpose, I end up messing up. But if I like just talk at a natural pace and I'm going fast, it happens by accident. Come to go to the Eggy Halloween parties, the blue New Line Cinema logo. Yeah, we're gonna dress as the Disney castle. THX jump scare. Yeah, THX jump scare. No, for me it's like Disney logo, Pixar logo, Ghibli logo, DreamWorks, that's another one. Stuff like that. I don't know why, that scares me a lot. Like, to the point that, like, if I'm watching a movie in the theater, I will, like, close my eyes while the opening, like, logos are playing. And I'll just, like, open them when the actual movie starts. The thing is, though, is that, like, I've yet to find somebody who, like, experiences this fear in, like, the same way. Because, like, once I found, like, a scary logo wiki, and I'm like, wow, finally, my people. But then, the thing is that they were not saying that logos in general were scary. It was specifically the logos that were scary, like, you know, like the THX ones, right? Like, you know, this big sound, or like scary image, or like, the Valve logo is pretty scary to me. You know, the one, like, I remember that scared me a lot back in the day when I was playing Portal, of just like the one where it's like the guy with like a valve attached to the back of his head. But like, that counts as body horror, right? Like, I feel like most people would agree that's a little bit scary. But yeah, that was, yeah. The Valve logo is horror. I was so scared to play. I know, it's like, why would they do that? Why is it the logo on his back of his head? Like, why is it a valve? A guy with, like, a head valve? It's scary. It's scary. Why would you use that to represent your company? It's scary. It was like watching cartoons. I am a VTuber, yes. But yeah, no, for me it's like, but like when it comes to other stuff that's supposed to be scary, like, you know, I mean, I guess I'm not immune to jump scares, but like when you have a thing that's like, ooh, there's blood, and I'm like, oh no, blood. Scary. I'm trying to think of like other things. Like, I guess I was scared of Slender Man as a kid. I was scared of Slender Man as a kid, but like, I think everyone was. But also Slender Man I mostly knew from the video game because I watched people on YouTube play it, and it was all like jump scares, right? I don't know. Then again, the other thing too is that like when I was a kid, my house, so I lived relatively close to like a forest, and the window that was facing out to towards the forest, I remember thinking once that like it was at the exact height, like if Slender Man was real, it would be like at the exact height that like if I would have looked out that window at night and Slender Man was there, he would be like staring right through my window. Like he was at that exact height. And then I don't know. And then after a few years later, we moved, and my room was like on like the 3rd floor of a townhouse. And I was like, well, at least Slender Man wouldn't be able to reach me here. Unless he climbs onto the roof. On the 3rd floor, I am safe from Slender Man. The biggest irrational fear is insects, not because they're creepy, but because they're fragile and still alive. I don't know. I guess I'm scared of wasps. Or like maybe hornets. But like, I'm not scared of spiders. Like maybe like if I ran into like the really big ones like they have in Australia, that'd be scary. But like, I feel like most bugs, I'm just like, they don't have any malice in their hearts, you know? This fly is just trying to survive. This centipede is just trying to survive. This house spider is just trying to survive. Like, I don't feel it the same way that like, I mean, wasps are scary, but yeah, hornets are scary and they can kill you. Yes, hornets are scary. But like most bugs I feel are just like, yeah, that's a bug. It's a bug. I'm not gonna like scream. I'm not gonna scream like because I saw a fly, you know? The centipede is scary and evil. No, the centipedes actually, I have a few of them down here, and I feel like I'm just like talking to them at this point sometimes. I think once I remember I went to the bathroom at night and like there was one that was like in the shower, and I just remember looking at it and being like, do you really have to do this right now? My parents are visiting tomorrow. Do you really have to do this right now? Like, just... Yeah. I'm here also to shame you a bit. What for? What for? This friendly wasp just discovered your cake and calls all his friends to your party. I don't know. I think it might just also be the wasps in my neck of the woods. Because, I remember one year when I went to Vancouver, there was wasps, but one of the things I noticed is that like here the wasps, like they hang around. Like if you have anything that smells even a little bit like food, they will just like linger around. They will keep coming back. They will keep coming back even if you shoo them away. Whereas like the wasps on the West Coast were just kind of minding their own business. Like, if they smell food, they might come towards you, but then they'll just, like, fly right away when they see that you're, like, a bigger being who's living and moving. Like, it seems like they're less desperate, you know? Were they big? No, they were, like, roughly the same size. Yeah. I think it's less the bug and the surprise of the bug where it does not belong. I guess. Humanity invented the house to avoid bugs that get outside and get inside. This is the peace deal. I don't know, ants can have a little crumb from the kitchen as a treat. No, the first one's a scout, the other ones come after that. Yeah, because like, even during the summer here, like, especially in the late summer, I've kind of, like, there's been some years where just like eating at a patio, like at a restaurant when they have like the outdoor patios, it's like I want to because it's summer, but it's so unpleasant because it's just like, oops, all wasps. And like some businesses would try to like, you know, have wasp traps and stuff set up, but it doesn't work. Like it just doesn't work. If you see a wasp near your food, the wasp has to die or it will call its friends. But, like, if you kill... The thing is that I don't want to try to kill a wasp because I don't want to risk, like, making a wasp angry. Because then it will sting me, and then that's what I'm trying to avoid. I like to put a single ant into a pile of sugar and let him enjoy for a little, then return to his friends knowing he'll tell them and they will never believe him. Actual candy mountain. Hold on, let me put some water. Ow. Some water. How do you get rid of ants? I don't know. Wait? I don't know. I mean, I guess there is, like, when I was a kid, my parents did buy, like, these little, like, ant poison things. But I know those don't work for everybody because, like, well, firstly, the ants might figure it out eventually. But also the other thing is apparently they're also, like, really bad for pets. So if you have pets, then I guess you're gonna have to find a different solution. Eggy, your audio. What's wrong with it? You can't just redeem it for no reason. You only redeem it if something is wrong. Just put bleach on the ant nest. Yeah, no, I mean, I know that for a lot of things, like for a lot of stuff, it's like really... If you have pets, you have to go for a completely different solution than if you don't have pets. Because you have to find a thing that, like, the bugs will eat, but your cat will not. Oh, I forgot to turn on the TTS. Whoops. It's too late now. We're like 2 hours into the stream. It's fine. Ah. Stream of the TTS. Ugh. Fine, I'll turn it on. I don't like bug poison. A cat can wander into your garden and eat it. Yeah, like... It's like, yeah, how do you kill only the animals that you want and not the ones that you don't want to kill, you know? Also, too, I feel like if you have pets, there's probably just, like, other risks aside from them eating it. Because, like, they might not eat it, but they might, like, knock it over or something, or, like, do something that will, you know, sabotage the mission. Yeah. I drank ants once. I'm sure, like, everyone has eaten an ant by accident at some point in their life. Isn't that, like, statistic about, like, bugs that crawl into your mouth while you sleep? I don't know. I think also, too, just, like... I wonder how many bugs have crawled into your eyes at various points. Because I feel like I've definitely had bugs at various points in my life that just, like, flew directly into my eye for some reason. And I'm assuming they got out, because I could still see after that. But, like, I can't be sure. Yeah. A friend of mine has ants as pets. Yeah, some people will make, like, ant hills on purpose. That's you, I never ate ants. As far as you know, you've never eaten ants. To your knowledge, you've never knowingly eaten ants. My dog ate an ant trap, though she has an iron stomach. It's like, how do you make... how do you make bug poison that does not seem delicious to dogs and cats? I don't know, and maybe other animals. But I don't think hamsters eating your ant poison is ever usually an issue. Yeah, see? There's probably more bugs that you've eaten and you just didn't know. Someone said if you're allergic to shrimp, you need whole coffee beans and grind them yourself. Yeah, I saw that tweet. But also, too, I think aren't shellfish like a pretty common, and bugs are like a pretty common like form of food dye as well, right? Like, I don't know. Otherwise, Insight Parks might get in there. I mean, it's understandable, I think, too, for like coffee beans, but like, I don't know. I was thinking recently, because I remember wasn't there like that news story about how like there was like lead in protein powder? And I don't know, I keep thinking, I'm like, how does it get in there? Like, how does that happen? Like, do you Like, is it from the machines that they use for grinding things? Is it just, like, something about the transportation of it? Is it about the, like how, at what point in the process is the lead getting in there? Is it shipping? Is it the harvesting? Is it the, like, grinding of ingredients? Like, how does the lead getting in there? How are we screwing it up this much? Plants get heavy metals, I guess? But, like, for a protein powder, I mean, I guess maybe the plant-based ones would have plants in them. But, like, even for the ones that are, like, even for the ones that are, like, not, like, plant-based, like the ones that are, like, whey-based or something. Yeah, it was the plant-based ones with slightly higher levels. Yeah, so it's like, are they somehow harvesting the soybeans with levels of lead? Like, I'm like, how is this happening? But yeah, it was still an extremely tiny amount of lead. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's like, how does this keep happening? I wonder if it's like a soil thing or something. Ah. But yeah. The lead was in the air due to leaded gasoline. Yeah, but, like, not recently. Like, isn't there, like, regulations about how end up in the soil all around? I guess maybe if it's, like, old dirt. I guess it's because, like, when did they start establishing limits on, like, lead in gasoline? I guess the soil doesn't exactly go away. Airplanes actually still use lead gasoline. Oh, okay. Because I know for cars, it's not allowed anymore. I guess maybe for, I guess it makes more sense for airplanes. I imagine probably the rules have to be different because they're, like, big and probably need a different kind of fuel, right? Yeah, the airplane engine hasn't evolved since the 50s. I mean, I guess it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess? Yeah, don't apple and cherry seeds have arsenic in them? Possibly, yeah. No, I think it was pears. I remember, I think pears have formaldehyde in them naturally. But, like, in, like, tiny, tiny amounts. I think it was pears. Maybe, like, some specific variety of pears. But, yeah. Or, isn't there some, poison that was from almonds? Was that also arsenic? Yeah. Tune has mercury? Tune? Oh, tuna. Oh yeah, well, like, fish is different. Fish is different, right? Because that's, like, stuff that falls into the ocean gets into the fish, right? And boa snakes too, which is why we can't eat them. Yeah. I mean, I guess... Isn't, like, the amount of fish that you'd have to eat for the mercury to affect you, like, really, really big, though? Like, you'd have to eat, like, multiple fish at every meal. It's like, I don't know. I don't eat that much fish. I have salmon in the freezer, actually. I have salmon in the freezer because it was finally, like, a non-horrific price. And so I got salmon, but then I realized I don't actually know what to do with salmon. So I'm like, I guess I'll figure that out next week. I'll have some salmon. Maybe some salmon rice. But I don't know. I try not to think about, because, like, for me, I'm just like, when people talk about, it's like, oh, mercury in fish, I'm like, I know it's a bad thing, but also I'm just like, personally, I'm gonna focus on, like, getting enough, like, fiber and protein and carbs in my diet. Like, we'll figure the rest out later. I quite literally have bigger fish to fry. I know I did calculate the amount of bananas you'd have to eat to die of potassium poisoning. It was like 10 in one day, which seems very low. Well, I wonder too, like, even if you ate 10 bananas in one day, I feel like it would also be a factor of like, what else did you eat, right? Because like other stuff would have potassium in it probably, but also like maybe like if you ate other stuff, it might like counter the amount of potassium. Also, is potassium one of those things like, you know how they say like if you have like too much of a certain vitamin, like I think they say this for like vitamin A, then like your body just like eliminates it when you go to the bathroom. Is potassium like that? Is it like you'd have to eat 10 bananas and just like not use the washroom whatsoever? Also, kind of how much you'd have to eat to die from radiation poisoning, because potassium has low levels of radiation. It was like 2.3 million. 2.3 million bananas? Or grams? Okay. Sorry, I got jump scared. I thought I heard something, but I think it was my aunt coming in. There we go. I got jump scared. 2.3 million. Oh, bananas. Bananas. That is too many bananas, I think. That might be a hot take, but I think that would be too many bananas. Too many bananas. Too many bananas. Yeah, it's low levels. Too many bananas. I don't even remember the last time I had, like, a straight-up banana. Like, I've had bananas and other things. Like, I've had, like, a fruit salad with bananas in it and stuff. I'm trying to remember the last time I just ate, like, a banana. Like, I just peeled a banana and ate it. I'm trying to remember the last time I had that. I'm like, it's been a long time. Also, Canadian calculated that 1 gram of uranium has 20 million calories. I think that's too many calories. That might be a hot take, but like, that's too many calories. Yeah, you get more radiation from cosmic rays than from bananas. Yeah, like, I feel like you probably, if you're trying to get radiated on, I feel like you'd have more success by just, like, going out in the sun. Right? Donkey Kong is at risk of radiation poisoning. I don't know, I think, given that he's probably gonna hit potassium overdose first, right? I think it was 20 billion. That's way too many calories. That's way too many calories. Way too many. I think that's too many. I think people should eat what they want, but I think that might be too many calories. Too many calories. I don't know. I think I need to get on... I need to get into lentils. Grocery streamer strikes again. I think I need to get into lentils. Since I'm seeing a lot of recipes that revolve around having lentils as a part of it. But also, like, I don't know. Isn't lentils one of those things that, like, you have to cook it right or it, like, kills you and you die? Like, isn't, like, lentils, like, eating undercooked lentils, like, really, really, really bad? Was it lentils or was that something else? Yeah, so Girl DM made a lentil thing that looked yummy. Yeah, I don't know why lentils just seem to be in right now. I keep getting recipes involving things with lentils. Chickpeas or beans. Because I know some beans are like that. Like, you have to soak them. Like, I think kidney beans are like that, where it's like, you gotta soak them. Or they're, like, super toxic, poisonous. And then you have to, like, soak them and then cook them. I mean, I guess I could always buy them canned. If you buy them canned, I imagine they're probably already safe to eat. No, that's certain beans. If you cook them wrong, they make toxins. Yeah. But, like, I guess you can always buy them canned if you don't want to have that. But, yeah. Are you ready for winter? Ugh. I'm ready to enjoy negative temperatures. I'm not. I am dreading the snow. I am dreading the snow. You try mujadara? What is that? Is it like another kind of bean? Because, like, the bean I usually eat the most is edamame. But I feel like it's probably pretty difficult to screw up edamame. But the snow is beautiful. Okay, then come to my house and shovel it. If you think it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's a rice, lentil, and onion dish. Ah, okay. I have at least one of those things. Give me the plane ticket, I will do it. You will regret this. But yeah, fresh peanuts that haven't been roasted are the ones that mold easily. I don't know, I don't think I've ever had, like, fresh peanuts. I feel like all the peanuts I've ever had have always been roasted. But also, I don't really live somewhere that, like, grows peanuts. I'm not even sure what kind of climate you'd need to grow peanuts. Because, like, I know... Like, it can't be that warm, because I know that, like, there's places in Japan that grow peanuts. Apparently, Chiba Prefecture is known for that. But... I don't know... I don't know. Eggy, hello Jabra, welcome. Fresh peanuts usually produce toxins easily if they mold, unsuitable for consumers. Yeah, I guess they probably wouldn't sell them that much then. Ugh. But yeah, edamame! 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 Beans. Beans. Yeah, peanuts are so tasty. I don't know, I'm pretty neutral on peanuts. Like, they feel like they're, like, default. They're just default nut, you know? They taste pretty default. Like, I wouldn't say I've ever had something with peanuts in it that I was like, yes, this is amazing. Is this a plot for you to become blue? What? Why? Why would I be blue? Yeah, because beans? Oh, because beans, of course. Yeah, peanuts are good on ice cream. I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to think of, like... I guess I like peanut butter on some things. But I feel like I usually prefer, like, the mixed nuts butter. Like, I know my mom has bought one that was, like, peanut... It's a mix of, like, peanut butter and cashew and I think a few other kinds of nuts. I feel like I like that one better. What else? Peanuts. I guess there's some Japanese desserts that have what's called like kinako, which I think is like grinded up peanuts, like they're like ground into a powder, and it's usually served on top of like mochi or on top of something else. I guess that's kind of good. I'm not like ride or die for kinako though. What else? I guess like chocolate peanut butter stuff is okay. It's alright. Again, I'm not like a hugest peanuts fan. Not the hugest fan. But, yeah. I'm not literally trying to become blue, guys. I'm not literally trying to become blue. Yeah, peanut brittle is good. I don't know. Peanut brittle is like kind of like a toffee thing. I'm not big on toffee. I'm not big on it. It's a little much. Like... I don't know, maybe I'm just like, it's because I'm not a caramel person either. There are a few things that I've liked that are caramel flavored, but usually like if I have the option between like caramel and any other flavor, I'm usually gonna pick the other flavors. Like unless you manage to have like a range of desserts where the only options are things I don't like, then like... Yeah, this food talk makes me hungry. Yeah. I mean, it is probably lunchtime for some of you, right? I ate a late breakfast. I'm also kind of hungry. It wasn't a very big breakfast. I'm out of so many things. I was like, oh, I'll have cereal. I was out of cereal. I'm like, okay, I'll have oatmeal. I was out of oatmeal. It's like, okay, maybe I'll have something on toast. There was barely anything to put on the toast. I still had bread left, but I didn't have anything to put on it. So I'm like, I guess I'll just have bread with butter. That's fine, I guess. How do you feel about hazelnut? Not very strongly. I'm not a big fan of hazelnut. I feel like most of the hazelnut I've seen here is like, it's mostly for coffee, and I'm not a big fan of like hazelnut coffee. Not big on it. What is the best sweet for a winter day? Does it have to be a dessert, or can drinks also count? Because I would say hot chocolate. I would say a hot chocolate. But, I don't know. Are you talking, like, food or beverage? Like... Because I feel like anything warm could be good for a winter day. Like, bonus points if it has chocolate, but it's not, like, mandatory. I feel like... Yeah, hot chocolate... I guess maybe, like, warm, freshly baked... Like, any kind of freshly baked good, I think, works well for winter. Like, it actually doesn't matter what the baked good is, now that I think of it. It doesn't really matter as long as it's freshly made. You know? Specialty tea is also awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like something about the winter season requires milk of some kind. Like, I feel like some kind of tea with milk. Yeah. Eat too many Brazil nuts, you get selenium poisoning. Yes, I read about that. Chocolate. Because I'm trying to think of, like, is there any baked goods that would not be appropriate for winter? And the only ones I can think of are, like, maybe ones that have a lot of fruit in them, because I feel like that's more of, like, a spring-summer thing. Like, I mean, if somebody gave me, like, a strawberry pie in January, like, I wouldn't complain. It just would not feel like the most seasonally appropriate thing, right? Fresh pretzel. If you could make it at home, yeah. I don't know what they're called, but it's like a sugar cookie with a whole Hershey kiss in the middle, and it's very good, and maybe it's nostalgia for me because it was a Christmas cookie of my childhood. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Oh, what else did I... I'm trying to think of what I had in the winter as a kid. A lot of hot chocolate. Oh, the other day, when I was visiting my mom, she actually pulled out something that I didn't even know we still had. I thought we got rid of it, like, years ago. But, like, when I was a kid, sometimes for breakfast, my breakfast would be hot chocolate and toast with peanut butter on it. And my mom would serve it to me in this, like, green cup and saucer. And I thought she got rid of it, but no, she pulled it out because she'd been using the cup recently, because apparently it's, like, a good size for, like, a small coffee. So I was, like, surprised. I was like, I saw my mom pull it out. I'm like, is that the thing I used to have hot chocolate out of as a kid? I thought they got rid of it. Like, I thought we got rid of it, like, several moves ago, but, like, no. Yeah. There's none convent near me, and they do bake sales all the time. If their baked goods are so good, I'd marry one if they didn't marry God first. I'm trying to think of, like, other things because my mom would make a lot of cookies when I was a kid. Usually it was chocolate chip. I guess also, like, oatmeal raisin. Sometimes around the holidays, she'd make, like, shortbread cookies. My mom would make, like, lavender shortbread cookies, where she would get, like, some lavender seeds and, like, add that to the dough. There's also, I think my sister once made Earl Grey shortbread cookies, where you just, like, have some, like, tea leaves. You just, like, cut a tea bag open and add that to the dough. What about... I don't know, shortbread is kind of wintercore. Oatmeal, I guess, if you consider oatmeal a sweet. That's pretty wintry. Mint M&M cookies? Oh yeah, like my mom would buy like the mint chocolate chips when she went to visit the States. And she would make cookies with those. Have we ever played Wuthering Waves? I have not. Also, this has nothing to do with desserts. Trying to think. I guess... Are there any winter pies? Because, like, you can't... Pumpkin pie is a fall pie. Most fruit pies are summer pies. Is apple pie? I guess apple pie can be a winter pie. Maybe... like, pecan pie? I mean, I know in Quebec they have what's called sugar pie, but that's usually more of like a spring thing. That's like a... I mean, I guess it can kind of be all year round, but... Dessert perfect for winter, but something I don't want to share. Okay, well, you're on the internet, so you can't give us your desserts anyway, so... Yeah, pecan is more of a Thanksgiving kind of deal. I guess any pie that can be made from things in stores, that's true. Like, I guess a lot of fruit pies are kind of, like, you're not making it out of fresh fruit always. Pecan is more Thanksgiving? I don't know, I always thought pecan was, like, a holiday thing. Because, yeah, pumpkin pie, I think, is the fall one. Same with apple pie, because apple pie can be made out of, like, the fresh fall apples. Oh! I just remembered. There's a few... There are things I need to get. I want to get... I didn't get to have apple cider this fall. Because, like, I mean, apple cider is one of those things I guess I can't really buy by myself. Because I can't go through it that fast. But it's very tasty and yummy. But, yeah. And... Oh, guys, we're getting close to persimmon season. Persimmon season is coming up. I'm gonna have persimmons. That'd be nice and good. Looking forward to persimmon season.
She went to a celebration and she didn't sing la polpi. It's so over for her.
What do you mean I went to a celebration? I had pumpkin pie this year. What? Persimmon season. Persimmon season. It's not real cider, but I buy those packets of nuts and spices to them. They make packets? Yeah. Oof. Might have to stop soon because my voice is getting tired earlier than I thought. Is this some kind of French fruit? Persimmon. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, exactly. Gelatinous snake. Persimmon. Am I saying it wrong? Is it not persimmon? Is it like persimmon? Persimmon says. It's persimmons. I like persimmons. I don't know what they're called in other languages. But yeah, they're usually more of like a very late fall, early winter thing. And yeah, you can have persimmons. They have them in Japan too. Persimmon season. You thought it was a holiday? No. I mean, you can celebrate persimmon season if you want. I'm using the second syllable being accent. Persimmon? Persimmon. Persimmon season. Where you eat persimmons. And I don't know. I like having persimmons when they're sliced and with cinnamon on them. Persimmon. Persimmon is very yummy. It's yummy and tasty. I recommend it. You don't even need to add sugar to it. Just like normal cinnamon, it just like brings out the natural sweetness. Yeah, my voice is getting a bit tired. How long have I been going? It's been almost 3 hours. Ugh. I guess that's the most I've talked, like, in a row for several days. Because, like, I don't know. I had normal conversations when I was on my trip. But not for 3 hours. Not talking for 3 hours straight. Yep, for 3 hours. I don't know. What do I want to do next week? There will have to be more Zhang. Oh! I need to stream next week. I need to stream Katamari. We gotta do Katamari. We have to do Katamari. Because the new Katamari came out while I was on my trip. I actually got to try a bit of it. Because, when I met up with my friend later, she's like, hey, can we go to the store and buy the new Katamari game and then come home and play it? And I'm like, yes. So I got to try a little bit of it. But yeah, I was gonna buy my own copy, but they only had one copy left when we went, so I will have to get that game on my own. But yeah. Katamari, new Katamari. I have to do new Katamari. I have to do rolling. We have to do rolling. We have to be rolling. So yeah, that'll probably be next week. And then what else? Oh, I gotta do more Ocarina of Time. Yeah. So yeah, but that'll be next week. I came back and I wanted to do everything at once, but I'm just like, I come back, I'm like, I need to Pajong. I need to do this. I need to Katamari. I need to, this is too much. There's too much. I need to sing. There are too many things happening. Way too many things happening. All at the same time. A rolling egg gathers no moss. Lonely rolling egg. But yeah, eggs, what are the 10 games to get to know you? Did you not see the tweet? I tweeted it. Hold on, let me pull up the tweet, because I'm trying to remember what I put in there. Yeah, I posted them, because everybody else was doing it, and I figure I'm like, well, this is a Twitter trend I can participate in, without having to, like, record anything. I can do this from elsewhere. So, what did I... what did I put down? I saw it at like 3 a.m. I think I posted it a little late in the evening. Okay, what did I put in? Undertale. Danganronpa 2. Earthbound. Katamari. House and Fata Morgana. Mahjong Soul. Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. I, the Somnium Files. Ace Attorney Trilogy. And Style Savvy Styling Star. That was the 10 I put. That's pretty eggy. That's pretty eggy. But I realized like so many of the games that I like are just reading. like half of these are visual novels. Like Fata Morgana, straight up visual novel. Danganronpa 2, close enough. Ace Attorney, the Somnium Files, close enough. Professor Layton is like, okay, that's like a lot of reading. It's not a visual novel, but there's still a lot of reading. The only ones I think that are like completely... Katamari is the only one that doesn't require a ton of reading. I guess Mahjong Soul, because it's just a Zhang. But like, I guess Style Savvy requires a bit of reading. Earthbound, a little bit of reading, because it's a JRPG. But yeah, Katamari is the only one that requires... Oh, and I guess Undertale. That's also a fair amount of reading. It's another RPG. So yeah, I think Katamari and Mahjong Soul are like the only ones on here that like don't require reading whatsoever. Meaning to do a 10 game to at most barely approximate me, and put in lots of games I barely like. Games I'm only sort of like. Because like, I don't know, I was trying to think of games. Because there's something I feel like I probably left off. But I'm not sure what it would be. Like, I feel like I got them all. I'm sure I'll go through my Steam library later and be like, wah! I forgot. Cause like, I don't know. Most of these games are things I like played as an adult, right? Like, Undertale I played in high school, I guess. But, like, and same with Earthbound. But, like, as for, like, games I played as a kid that would have, like, influenced me when I was older, I'm like, I don't know if those exist. Like, I liked Brain Age and Nintendogs a lot. Would I say they, like, fundamentally changed me as a person? I'm not sure. You know? Because, like, I think other people had a mix of, like, I played this as a kid and it, like, completely restructured all my taste in video games. And then, you know, stuff that they played more recently. But, like, again, I'm not sure. I like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. I'm not sure if they, like, fundamentally changed my taste, you know? Yeah. 10 out of 10 life-altering experience. Yeah. I don't know, because, like, I guess I just, like, did not play enough games as a kid for any single one of them to feel super meaningful. Like, there's ones I have good memories attached to. But, like, I'm trying to think, like, I feel like it wasn't until high school that I was like, yeah, I have strong attachments to this game. You know what permanently changed my taste? A Minish Cap ad. Not even the Minish Cap itself, not even the game, just the advertisement. Girls Mode 4? Yeah! Girls Mode 4. Style Savvy Styling Star. It is a dress-up game and also one of the best games I've ever played. Unironically. Cause, like, I'm trying to think, what did I play as a kid? I played Nintendogs. I played, like, I had, like, Mario Party and Mario Kart and a lot of, like, the common multiplayer ones. I had My Sims Kingdom, which was basically just, like, EA's attempt at making, Animal Crossing. Or, like, what did your cousins play? Like, I remember, like, I bought Spirit Tracks because, my cousin had Spirit Tracks. And Spirit Track had, like, a multiplayer mode that we kept playing together. And that was why we bought it. Or at least that's why, like, we convinced my dad to get it for us. Phantom Hourglass was a Christmas present. Like, I don't know. I have fun memories attached to Wii Fit. I wouldn't say Wii Fit is, like, hugely meaningful, you know? Like, I played a lot of games when I was young. Those games influenced me still to this day. Yeah, see, I think it's just, like, I played games when I was young. I can't say that they, like, influenced me, though. Not to the same degree that, like, movies or TV did, you know? Like, the one game I can say that turned into my whole personality before I turned 18 was Undertale. But, admittedly, I was, like, 16 or 17 at the time. So I wasn't that far off. Like, it took until high school to make a game my entire personality, you know? Because, like, I don't know, I didn't play Pokemon as a kid. I think it's also true that my parents were like, only half an hour of screen time per day, so, like, that's not enough time to get anywhere in a video game, especially if you're not very good at it. I genuinely can't remember what possessed me to want Animal Crossing New Leaf. I got it, it changed my life. No, New Leaf I got, because there was, like, a guy at school that I knew who was like, oh yeah, I have a bunch of 3DS games I don't really play, and you just got a 3DS. Do you want them? I don't really know what to do with them. So that's how I got. One of those was Animal Crossing New Leaf. I don't remember if there was another one. I think there might have been another one that I just, like, declined because I wasn't interested. But yeah. But yeah, those are my first two 3DS games. I had Super Smash Bros. Because I bought my 3DS as, like, a set that came with it. And then Animal Crossing New Leaf. But again, I was already in high school by that point. Like, I can't remember if there was anything as a kid that was, like... I mean, I dressed up as Link for Halloween when I was in, like, grade 8, so that's gotta count for something, I guess. Yeah, I guess not. I guess I was more of a kid who like made movies and TV to my whole personality rather than video games. I have to leave. Have fun, everyone. Thank you for being here. Have a nice and good day. I don't know. I might end soon. Because, like, my voice is getting tired. And I need to make foods. I need to go see what's in the fridge. Everything's gonna take longer to make because I don't actually know what I have. Because, like, I feel like I have, like, 3/4 of the ingredients for any given recipe right now. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I could make, gyudon, because I have, like, I have rice, I have, beef, but I don't have the onions. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, oh, I could make, this other thing, but then I'm like, okay, what about the soup? I'm like, oh yeah, but the mushrooms might have gone bad. Yeah. The list of anime that permanently changed me, I would not want to post online. Secret information. Confidential. Yeah, that's the point where you get to experiment and maybe stumble across something new. I think that's why it was. In elementary school, my costume was a Nintendo GameCube. Okay, that's cute. I like that. You're like, I'm not gonna be anything from a GameCube game. I'm just gonna be the GameCube itself. That's cute. I like that. One ingredient recipe is a recipe that tolerate mixes like stir fries or soup. Well, it's like I have stuff to make soup. I just don't know how much of it is still good. Because I bought it... I don't know. I also don't know how long stuff like tofu stays good once it's open. Because like I did open it and then leave for like a week. So I'm like, some of the stuff is probably going bad in my fridge right now. I'm not ashamed the anime that changed me was Beyond the Boundary. I don't know. For me, it was... What would it change me? Madoka Maguka. I don't think that's an embarrassing one. I think it's like a very normal one. Madoka Maguka. My mom made it for me. My hands were the controllers. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Was it just like a big cardboard box kind of thing that you painted? Yeah. I was a shy guy and made the face out of flat styrofoam and it rested on my nose and the friction turned my nose red and raw, but it looked cool. I don't know, what was I when I was a kid? I feel like I can remember like my costumes from like each year. Because like grade 1, I was a snow princess. Grade 2, I was... oh yeah, I was a horse. I was a horse in grade 2. Grade 3, I was Kim Possible, because I was really into Kim Possible at the time. Grade 4, I was a cheerleader. Grade 5, I was Princess Peach. Grade 6, I was a cat. Grade 7, I was I was Link. And then grade 8, I think I had like this like old vintage 1950s like housewife dress. So I just wore that, and then my mom like curled my hair 50s style. So I guess I was just like vintage lady. Yeah, pictures of all these? Yes. Well, because the other thing too is that like for the first few years, especially when I was very little, like I think up until grade up until grade 1, my mom would always make my Halloween costumes. And even after that, some of them she still made. Like I think we made the cheerleader costume from scratch. I was Harry Potter for many years running as a child. Was it like one of those things where you bought like the robe one year, but it was like an oversized thing, so you just like continued to be able to fit into it for like 2 more years? It was like one of those things. Invest in an oversized Halloween costume and you will never run out of costume. You're really aging yourself here. With what? Kim Possible? I'll have you know that the cheerleader costume too was specifically a High School Musical cheerleader. Like I was specifically doing like the one from High School Musical. I think my mom actually made it because I saw a costume for that at the store. And then my mom looked at the price and she was like, oh. And then she was like, you know what, we'll just make this ourselves. Um, Cause yeah, also, oh, even before grade 1, in grade 2, no, sorry, senior kindergarten, I was a hippie, cause I remember my mom made me that one. In junior kindergarten, you guys, guess what? In junior kindergarten, I was Humpty Dumpty. There was like literally pictures of me at age 4, dressed as an egg. I was Humpty Dumpty. I have been Eggy. I have been egg from a very young age. I have naturally aged into being Eggy. Yeah, when I was a kid, I dressed up as Bluey, and Baxter Crook is confirmed to be 7 years old. Yeah, I remember being Zoro from One Piece one year and had to explain what that meant to normies. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. In high school one year, I was Peridot from Steven Universe. My wig was terrible and I had to paint myself green, but then I had co-op because I was doing like a semester of like co-op. So in the afternoon I would go somewhere and work there. So I basically did myself up all in green in the morning of Halloween. And then I had to like ungreen myself before I went to co-op. And I remember at some point, I guess I missed a spot when I was like taking off the like face paint. Cause like at some point when I was at co-op, I remember like scratching the back of my neck because it was itchy. And then my nails were all just like, there was a green under my nails. And I'm like, did I miss a spot? Yeah. It's been so long, I don't remember all the costumes. Yeah, I think also too, the year in grade 6, when I was a black cat, I was specifically a black cat because I was trying to be, a character from Warriors. What was it? Was it Yellow? Oh, what was her name? Was it Yellowtail? Hold on. Was it Yellowfang? Yellowfang? I'm like looking at pictures. No, yeah, it was Yellowfang. Yellowfang, that's who I was specifically dressing up as. That's why I was like, I'm specifically going to be a black cat. And not like any other kind of cat. I was a bad child. I wanted to be Legolas from Lord of the Rings, and my parents were like, no, store-bought costume, we make it. And it was like, cool, I saw someone with a nicer store-bought and got embarrassed. What, like a better Legolas? Yeah. But yeah, no, I was... Again, my mom was somebody who wanted to try hard for Halloween until I hit like grade 1, and I'm like, I want to be a princess. And my mom's like, okay, that might be a little more complicated to do. But yeah, no. I was I was an egg. I was Humpty Dumpty. I got angry because I was like 6 and dumb and didn't know things. It's like, I don't know, some Halloween costumes are kind of expensive for what they are. Where it's like, yeah, this is something you're supposed to wear for like one night. And like, I don't know, I guess with some Halloween costumes, like, you can reuse them later. I think some of the things with Halloween costumes is like, because like, princess has never gone out of style, right? Like, even like name brand princesses, like Disney princesses, have never really gone out of style, right? Like, there are kids who wanted to be Ariel back in when I was a kid, and there are kids who probably still want to be Ariel for Halloween now, right? So like, stuff like that, it's like, okay, that's good enough. But sometimes you get like ones that are like weirdly specific and tied to a specific moment. Like the High School Musical cheerleader, you know? Where it's like, like after this thing loses relevance, no one's gonna want to dress up as it, right? Like, I feel like some costumes in that way kind of become disposable just because like nobody really knows what to do with them after. And when you're a kid too, like you grow out of things really fast. So I could like totally see how like, unless you had like oversized robes kind of costume, then like it's not gonna fit you after. It's not gonna fit you a year later. But yeah, the vague concepts are popular because it's like outside pop culture, like princess, ninja, spy, animals. Yeah. Because like those never lose popularity. And even certain things like Disney stuff usually doesn't lose popularity that much either. But like, yeah, if you're dressing up as something specific from like a certain year, then like, yeah, that might be a little harder to do. Eggy cheerleader? Yeah, I was Eggy cheerleader. I don't know. Apparently my sister was telling me, she sent me a picture. She dressed up as a Pikmin. It was like a very simple costume. It was basically just like, she was wearing a purple shirt. She was wearing all purple, and then she made a little like flower headband. But yeah, she was a Pikmin. Pikmin. I guess Pikmin is like not the most difficult one if you're gonna dress up. Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters won't make sense for Halloween in 5 years. Yeah. Did you feel cold? No, because we all had to wear 1 bajillion layers underneath our costumes. Every time I see girls on with skirts in fall or winter, I wonder how they survive that. Okay, for short skirts, it depends, and it depends how cold. If it's a long skirt, it's probably not as much of an issue. You can also wear tights. You can buy like thermal tights that are specifically meant for cold weather. Sometimes those will be in colors, like sometimes you'll get like the black ones, but like you can also buy like flesh toned tights. I've used those for like cosplay. I think I wore I wore them for MagFest for one of my outfits last year, because basically the outfit required like it would have had knee-high socks at a time that would have been too cold to wear knee-high socks. So yeah, they're basically like these very thick flesh tone tights. So I put them on and then I put the knee-high socks on top, and then it like, yeah, it looks nice. I was ninja in a coat or shy guy in a coat. Yeah, that's how Canadian Halloween also goes. Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, we in Canada need to start doing Halloween a month earlier, in the same way that we do Thanksgiving a month earlier than the US does. So that we can actually have like weather that's decent enough to go trick-or-treating. Because like end of September is usually alright for that, right? Like it's usually like not warm, but it's not like terribly, terribly cold. Yeah, the Midwest too. Yeah. Cold. Cold. Very chilly. But yeah, Thanksgiving is a harvest festival. Yeah, that's probably why it's like a month earlier here, because absolutely nothing is getting harvested here in November. I love the cold. Okay, then I'll go marry it, I guess. Swap Canadian Thanksgiving and Halloween. Oh, easy. Actually, that would probably work out pretty well, because like usually Thanksgiving is in like the first half of the month, so it's usually not that cold. By the time you get to the end of the month, like it cools down a lot in those like 2 weeks. But yeah. Ooh, it's gonna be winter. Ooh. I don't want it to be cold. It's gonna be cold. There's gonna be snow on the ground. I mean, I think we still got like another month or two before the snow falls. I'm not looking forward to January. Like, at least December is fun, because everyone gets to go, wee, la la la, and it's Christmas and stuff. But then it's January, and you go, ugh. Like, when it's January, it's like, okay, fun's over, now it's just cold and dark. And even February is also kind of like that too. It's also cold and dark. Except that February is also miserable because it's now been cold and dark for like several months now. Like at least in December, it's like the novelty is kind of still there. But by the time you get to February, it's like, oh, this has been going on for ages. And you're just going, ugh. And then March is like, ugh. Don't you get depressed in winter? Yes! Like, it is insanely cold. It's very difficult, too, to, like, plan anything in the winter as well, I find. Because it's, like, on top of it being cold, because, like, it's cold, so it's, like, hard to convince yourself to go anywhere and do anything. But then on top of that, it's, like, if you try to make plans, there's always the risk of, like, massive snowstorm. So it's, like, okay, we could do something this weekend, provided that, like, you know, the entire city doesn't get shut down by snow. So it's very difficult. It is very difficult to do much of anything in the winter, really. And then... But yeah, and then, I don't know, March can be frustrating because March is like one of those things where it feels like it should be spring, and sometimes it does feel like spring, but then sometimes it's just like, okay, everything's taking 9,000 years to get warm. I guess it depends how good the spring is that year. But yeah. I'm racing for January to go, ugh. Gonna go, ugh. 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 The months of fall, spring. Yeah! When it just gets like super warm for like a day or two and then it goes back to being cold. Yeah. I'll go clean the snow on the coldest day of winter. I'll bring hot chocolate and blueberries. Okay, and where do you plan to get those blueberries? Where are you getting them? Where are they coming from? From hometown. Good luck. I don't think, I actually think getting fruits and vegetables across national borders is actually very difficult. At least here. I remember when I was a kid, when my family would go to the States, because my parents would always pack like fruits and vegetables to eat as snacks when we were in the car. But then when we would be like waiting in line at the border to like get through not customs, get through the border, basically. We would be like in the car trying to like eat as many like carrot sticks and cucumber slices as possible. Just trying to eat them super fast because we knew when we got to the border we'd have to throw them all out. But yeah. American South where winter is 70 degrees. Well, even like, I mean, when I've gone to, both times I've gone to MagFest have been like colder than usual, I've been told. But I remember the last day, like the day, okay, I'm so mad. MagFest last year, it was like, apparently it was colder than usual the entire time I was there. And then like the day we were leaving, apparently it was like more close to the normal weather. It was like 9 degrees. And I just remember being like, wow, I'm not gonna experience weather this warm for like another 3 months. Like, it was like that last day was pleasant. To me, it felt like spring.
We are entering into the MagFest section of the stream.
Not yet. It's not for another couple months. But yeah, no. I'm hoping one of these years I will go to MagFest on a weekend when the weather is normal. Yeah. You mean protecting the border of my beloved country, see a car full of people eating something with speed and panic, not suspicious at all. It's carrot sticks and cucumber slices, and maybe a couple apples. I mean, to be fair, usually the border would move pretty slowly when we went, so it's not like we were, like, speed eating it in the 5 minutes before they get to our car, but, like, yeah, it was usually, like, over the course of maybe, like, 20 to 30 minutes. It would take a long time. Does MagFest have a ball pit? No, not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. But I think it might be right o'clock because I do need to go upstairs and figure out what is actually in my fridge and edible. Let's see who's on. Let's see who's on. Does MagFest sell magazines? No. MagFest, it has nothing to do with magazines, actually. MAG is actually, it is an acronym for music and gaming. So it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. There's stuff about music, and there's stuff about gaming. Okay, let's see. Farewell, Eggy, thank you for stream. I mean, don't farewell me just yet. I'm picking a raid. Picking a raid. Beba is a clown. Do we raid Beba, who is being a clown? I guess we can raid Beba, who is a clown. What is she doing while being a clown, aside from clowning around? What manner of clowning around is she doing? She's doing... retro. Eternal darkness. Okay. That is what she is doing. I think we can raid into Beba. We can raid into Beba. What happened to my music? There we go. Okay, let me set up the raid. Raid. Bodega. At. There we go. What's your raid message be? What will our raid message be? Let's just say return of egg. Return of egg. Yeah, return of egg. Return of egg. That'll be our raid message. Can I say bye or is it early? The countdown is going. You can say bye now. So I will be back tomorrow. We will be zhonging. There's a few things I have to sort out before then. But yes, I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow morning. We are back. I will be back to normal next week. Next week should be relatively normal. I think probably. I guess I will find out later. But until then, thank you for being here. Thank you to those on YouTube as well. And I will be back tomorrow and look at my cool end card. And thank you and bye-bye. Wait, hold on. This is the waiting screen. What am I on? Here we go.